Hello.
Good evening, Joe, Jeremy.
How you guys doing tonight?
Tired, but I'm here.
I'm doing pretty good today.
Mm. Yeah,
Slept
well,
a lot.
let's see, trying to. For some reason, the March on Wrestling page didn't go live. So I don't know what happened there, but it's too late to try to fix that.
Yeah, just been on with it. Writing down the.
So, Jeremy, are you a ghost today?
Uh, I had surgery on my head last week.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, so I've got a balloon under my head, and it's already like very partially inflated. So I look like I got the very beginnings of horns growing out of my forehead.
Uh,
So that
how
is
you feeling otherwise?
right now I'm actually feeling okay, but Monday I am supposed to be having this balloon inflated, and the doctor said he's going to stretch the skin out as much as he can. So I am going to be having a very, very bad headache in less than 48 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, not looking forward to it, but I got to do it. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
well, hang in there, Jeremy. When it's all over with, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it'll definitely be worth it, but damn, the process.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a fun one.
No,
Just making some notes from the night.
the day of surgery was really bad. Um, Even with all the medicines, or it might have actually been because of the medicines, I was feeling very sick to my stomach.
Oh, medicine will do that.
Yeah, I was in my chair. I sleep in my chair now because of this, so that I'm not moving around in bed. And I was in my chair from 4 p.m. until 6 a.m.
Oh, that's rough. Having to sleep in your chair, and I know it's like a necessity because when I went through what I went through, and it not got nothing to do with the way you did, what you went through or going through. But I had to sleep in a chair because I had that Hickman catheter in my chest. So I had to be careful so I wouldn't roll over, or, because I moved a lot in my sleep. And man, I didn't sleep too well sleeping in a chair.
Well, what you went through was life threatening. What I'm going through right now is not. 4 years ago it was, but right now it's
Yeah,
not.
but still, it's life changing.
Yes, yes, sir.
And it's more of a drive. See, I still have my identity in who I am. All right.
Yeah.
I don't have to get up and look in the mirror and see somebody different. You know, that what I used to look like.
Yep. I know.
As we get older, it becomes apparent that
Well, yeah, that happens too, because I got this gray down here first before I got all of this, and I thought it'd be the other way around.
yeah, I get a lot of gray here whenever I'm shaved for a little bit, but I keep all this really short. But I look in the mirror and I see my grandfather. Start to see my grandfather coming out. I was like, good Lord, I'm getting old.
I'm lucky I don't see any of my relatives. My dad was a drunk, and I don't look nothing like him. Even though I grew up having them say, "Oh, you look just like your dad. You're going to be alcoholic just like your dad." I don't
That's
drink
good.
alcohol. I don't look like him, but my younger half brother does. You know,
Are
I
you watching the post show, Jeremy?
I got the post show on. They have Paul Heyman on right now. They just got done with Jacob Fatu and
I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
the
I
wife
ain't,
sounds like the wife's watching it now. I can hear it.
okay. All
yeah.
right. So, we just got done watching night one of WrestleMania. Um, but before we get into that, we're going to talk very briefly about SmackDown last night. They had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Um, I did not count how many were in there. I know initially they had 30 wrestlers in
I
there.
think that's what it was last night.
Okay.
You kind of saw the ending coming. I knew kind of who was going to win by the way they were kind of hyping it up.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew the last two that were going to be in there, and I was like, yep, I called that one.
Yeah, it did
Yeah,
seem
they made that pretty obvious.
that's yeah. But I was happy to see Otis in the last three.
Yeah,
Otis was last three. Akira was last five.
Shinsuke was in there. I saw him, which I'm looking on a TV screen of somebody else streaming it, so it's hard to see a lot of the action and all that. So it wasn't really into it that well.
Yeah. Uh, Poor Kit Wilson was the first one out.
Yeah, him and his pepper lemon stuffers, or however he says that.
Oh, that's true. He wasn't in there.
Oh,
Yeah, what the heck was that damn gingerbread bullshit last night?
I really thought that was Sammy. I was fully expecting that to be Sammy, and then him surprising Trick and laying him out. And then all of a sudden, here he comes from behind the scenes. Oh no! I wanted so bad for that to be Sammy.
yeah, I
Don't
was too.
don't be surprised if the gingerbread thing comes back out tonight and somebody else in there.
It'll
You know,
probably end up being that Yachty guy. Okay. Uh,
had the Hall of Fame last night.
yeah, Hall of Fame. They they need to come up with something different because it didn't start until midnight on the Eastern time zone.
Yeah,
So
it started at 11 o'clock here.
yeah, so a little bit easier on you guys.
Nah, it wasn't too easy either. I'm getting old.
Well,
You
there
know,
is
that midnight,
I feel
hour,
you.
it didn't get over until almost 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock.
yeah.
Yeah, I was sleeping by then. I chose not to. It's like I'm not staying up and
Yeah,
watching the Hall of Fame. I'll watch a replay of it.
I barely kept my eyes open for it.
I during that last hour I was really struggling because I had already been up since 5:30 yesterday morning. Um,
Yeah, I was at work, or was I? Was I at work? No. What the heck was I doing?
well, it would have been 4:30 your time when I got.
I know what it was. I had class last night, and then after class, I cleaned up a good bit down there, and had a big day today with rank tests and all. So I was 9, almost 9 o'clock, getting out of there
Well, they
while I
need,
was watching it while I was cleaning and all.
well, I think they need to make some major changes to the Hall of Fame. One, they shouldn't put it on. If they want to do it like Saturday afternoon before the first day of WrestleMania instead of the Friday night after SmackDown. That's too late for a lot of people to stay
Yeah,
up,
do it.
especially us that have been watching wrestling since the 70s,
What?
before WrestleMania started.
You think about it too. If you got to look at a lot of the wrestlers, production crew, and all that are staying up way up late, and then they
Oh,
got to
yeah,
get up early the next morning to kick off WrestleMania. It
right,
would be much simpler to do it, say 10 o'clock in the morning.
right,
Go ahead and knock it
exactly.
out.
But at least in Vegas they're in Pacific time, so the Hall of Fame didn't start until 9 p.m. for them.
But still,
Yeah, still it's
They
late.
should think about the other people in the world that watch it in the in the United States at least, here, because we're not all on the same time zones.
At
Look,
least, at
do
least
this.
in the United Kingdom.
If you do this, pre-record it after SmackDown if you want to. Pre-record it, and then put it on Saturday morning before the WrestleMania.
Yeah, something.
You know.
But
What I would really suggest is on WrestleMania weekend, move SmackDown to Thursday night and do Hall of Fame during prime time on Friday night in the place of SmackDown.
Could do that.
and the other thing they need to change is, and this is, I'm sure Stephanie and Triple H are working on this somehow with somebody or whoever is in charge of picking the Hall of Fame. But Jesus Christ, why wait until some of these people are dead and gone? I looked up, I was watching this, and as I was looking up and going, why are they just showing the family? So I said, figured they were dead. And some of these people only passed away, a couple of years ago.
Well, in that
They only
sense,
have so many they can put in each year.
Right, but why sit there and put like current, you know, I get some of these current superstars like AJ Styles, he just retired and now he's in the Hall of Fame. You could have got, somebody that was older and you know what I'm saying? Before they pass away and no longer here.
I think they saw it as an opportunity for him to kind of like duplicate what they did with Ric Flair. Is that as soon as he retires, put him in.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of stupid. I'm
I'm
not saying AJ, I'm not taking away from anything AJ's done because he's been, he traversed over what 3 or 4 different plus to Japan wrestling,
hmm
before WWE, and he got there and he accomplished so much in such a short period of time when he got WWE. Yeah, he deserves a Hall of Fame. He deserves it, you know. But I'm just saying, some of these people they give it to them way too late.
well, some of these people they put in there don't need to be in there.
Yeah,
But Dennis Rodman. I mean,
that was a
I
joke.
actually agree with Dennis Rodman going in because he was very involved and very instrumental for the NWO.
But still,
Yeah. So in his case, I
there
am
were.
in full agreement of him, but somebody like Drew Carey, no.
well,
Yeah.
even I mean, there's other people that could have got in there before Rodman.
Hi,
There's
Cindy.
more deserving
Oh
people
wow.
than Rodman. Don't divvy up.
How you been,
You know,
Cindy? Long time no hear.
Oh, she's a friend of yours, Joe?
hey Cindy,
Yeah, I've known Cindy since high school.
Okay.
Andre's already in the. Andre Hulk's in there.
Yeah, that
Um,
match though, that match being inducted into the Hall of Fame,
that should have been done a long time ago if we were going to do
that
matches.
should have been done a long time ago too. Why both of them were still alive, but that
Oh, on no
the
chance for
thing,
Andre.
they like kayfabe. All right, they've let a lot of secrets out, right? We all agree on that. A lot of their secrets are out. Okay, they failed to mention, and they should have mentioned that if it wasn't for Andre allowing Hulk Hogan to body slam him, Hulk Hogan would have never been Hulk Hogan. Because that match made Hogan.
That match made everything.
Yeah, but it boosted his career.
It did.
Yeah,
Because after
and
that,
they,
Hogan's career shot through the roof.
and they put big hype on him body slamming. Andre had been slammed before,
Big John Studd.
so I mean,
Right, but Andre wasn't the size that he was before.
true. He
right.
wasn't as in bad a shape as he was
But
when
I
he
was
fought
just
Hogan
gonna
either.
say when he was in pretty bad shape when Hogan slammed him because Hogan had to be careful how he did it and stuff because of that giantism disease wreaking havoc on Andre's body.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
Andre wasn't gonna let Hogan do that at first because he kind of pissed Andre off. And then somewhere along the line, I think Heenan talked him into it, because it was kind of like passing the torch. But
Well, and
Hogan
Ho-
was like disrespectful to Andre and pissed him off, and then he's like, "I'm not going to do it," and then he decided to do it
well, that
because
was kind of
there
They
was no way anybody would slam Andre the Giant without Andre's help. You
well
know.
going back to Hogan. I mean, he did a lot for the business, but he was, you know, known to be, looking out for Hogan and only Hogan.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of women wrestlers.
Oh
well,
yeah,
we just
but
Probably not
and
the
they
same
actually
ones you
wrestle,
remember those in the.
and
we
they actually wrestle now. They don't. They're not just there for looks.
Yeah.
we just had three matches today, and
They got all they got the same belts as the men do now.
yep.
You got two heavyweight titles,
Intercontinental.
Intercontinental and the US title, and two tag titles, two sets of tag
Hmm.
titles.
No, one set.
One set, oh, is there, oh, yeah, that's right, just one set, but the men still have two.
Yeah, they don't have a deep enough roster for a second tag title. Honestly, I don't think they really have enough women to support two secondary titles. I think they should.
Well, no, those two secondary titles were necessary.
Yeah, I get that, but my thing is, there's not a whole lot of women. They need a lot more on the main roster to be able to support those two titles.
Well, there's only so
Well,
much time you can get into the programs.
they got
Oh,
to
yeah,
start
plenty of time to get
graduating
your
some of
audience.
them
They would
from
just keep running those
NXT.
damn ads.
Well, they gotta start
They're going to keep the
graduating
ad.
them faster from NXT and start doing some cross promotions and bringing some of them women over from what is it? Yeah, TNA or TNT or Impact.
NXT.
They got that dual contract or something where they can cross over with the wrestlers.
Well, they got Sol Ruka and JC Jane that are supposed to be moving up. I'd like to see Tasha.
Zarya's going to have to move too.
Huh?
Zarya's going to have to move too.
They might hold her. They might hold her for another year.
If I was going to put Soul up, if I was going to bring Soul up, I'd bring Zarya up too, just to continue the feud in the big main roster.
I think they finally settled that feud on Tuesday. They had a last woman standing match. I
Well,
think.
what I'd really like to see them do, and somehow along the line, Mercedes Monet, aka Sasha Banks, would have to return first. Okay, but I only hear about it. I never got a chance to see them, but get the four horsewomen back together: Charlotte Flair, uh, Bailey, um,
And Becky.
Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks.
Um, right,
They were talking about him all tonight during WrestleMania. I
right
heard them
after
mention.
the women's tag match, the Bella Twins, AJ Lee and Paige did a poster, and somebody said that this was the original four horsewomen. So what I would like to see are the Bella Twins, Paige and AJ Lee versus Sasha Banks, Becky, Charlotte, and Bailey.
Oh, that would be a hell of a eight-woman tag match, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would, and it could be either a standard eight woman match or a Survivor Series type match or a War Games match.
Because right now, Paige has no ring rust on her because of the fact she was wrestling over in AEW or TNT Impact or whatever
Well, her
under
last
her.
match was a year and a half ago.
Right. She had to wait for that contract, that non compete thing to run out.
Right.
And see, she was going by her given name where she was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when she made her return, the roof flew off that place.
Oh, it sure did, and especially when she tagged back in. But before we get into that, um, I went back and checked. There were actually 26 wrestlers in the battle royal last night. There were 26 of them.
Only 26. There should have been 30.
There
But
should
anyway,
there should have been 30, but there's on Cage Match they have everybody listed. Now I said there would probably be two or three from NXT in this battle royal, and there were. Shiloh Hill was in there. There are a lot of people are high on him. You had Joe Hill, and I didn't take into account that they might call up some AAA wrestlers for this one. So they had Psycho Clown.
Mm-hmm. Saw him.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
wasn't, was, I think I saw Mr. Iguana in there too.
no, he wasn't in. He wasn't in it.
No, he wasn't.
Nope.
Just a psycho clown.
Yeah, it was Psycho Clown and one of the other clowns. I can't find his name right now. But they had two of the clowns in there, and Psycho Clown I think is the one that
And tore off his face.
yes, I,
Yeah.
I
That
love
was cool.
I love it when he does that.
That was so cool.
Um, so Royce Keys won the battle royal. My picks, I had three of them. Either Royce Keys, Aleister Black, who also happened to be in the final four, and Damian Priest. But he wasn't in there.
Yeah, I think
Apollo.
I knew Royce was going to win it just because of the hype that surrounded him.
Well, that too, and they put a damn video montage of right before the damn match. I was like, well, there you go. When I saw him come out, well, there's your winner.
Yeah,
Yeah, if they book him right, he'll be a huge star.
yeah, he will.
So, um, Hall of Fame. Stephanie McMahon was the first one inducted. I was kind of surprised by that because usually the headliner goes last. But if you recall, a couple years ago, Paul Heyman went first, and that was at his request. And I'm going to guess that Stephanie requested to go first because she did not feel like she even deserved the Hall of Fame, much less being a headliner.
But she did. She did deserve it.
She absolutely does. I know there are so many people out there in the IWC who say that she doesn't deserve it. You know what? They can suck ass. She,
Yeah, because, well, you think about it. All those women that were sitting there in the audience, were basically praising every word she said. Nothing came out of Stephanie's mouth that wasn't true. And when they sat there and said, well, she did this, she started this, and she got it so they didn't call it the Divas title anymore.
right.
There were no more bra and panty matches. There was real wrestling matches for real titles.
And she was very instrumental behind getting that to be what it is now.
Well, she had a fight against, you
Her
know,
dad.
her dad, who was a jerk off when it came to women, you know.
The early 2000s was not a pleasant time for the women, for sure. That was where they were doing those bra and panty matches. They had the like like jello matches, the uh, where they had that.
Bikini contest and the wet T-shirt contest and
Uh,
the,
Yeah,
yeah,
they were just there for eye candy, you
yeah.
know.
But I am going to, I will say this because for the time period, it actually fit because there was a lot of sexuality out there in pop culture, and
Well,
he was just following that trend.
that attitude era, you know, was a totally different time than now. There's a lot of stuff in that attitude era that you could not do now.
No, you couldn't get rid of. Yeah, you couldn't get away with half that shit.
No, I wouldn't even say half of it. I think that's being generous.
Well, think about it. Degeneration X used to come out saying "suck it." You know, they still get away with that once in a while, but they don't do that too often.
No,
And you still see wrestlers doing the chop.
yes, they do.
You know,
But there's a difference between doing the gesture and some of the other things.
Hmm.
they're doing it, but they're not saying that. I got two words for you.
Yeah. Well, no, they're saying that phrase, but they're letting the fans say it.
Right.
Right,
Uh,
but
but but in any case, Stephanie McMahon was very instrumental into getting the women's wrestling division to where it
what
is
it
now.
is today. Yep.
Yeah. Um, and the women's wrestling, they are, with few exceptions, they are so good.
Yeah. Well, look how many times they have the women main event.
Exactly.
You know, compared to say 10 years ago or 20 years ago. The women never main evented anything.
10 years ago, you were lucky. If you had a women's match on a
Right.
PLE or pay per view.
And tonight we had several.
You had three
Hmm.
of them.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised to see that they had two of them back to back. I thought that was pretty big for being a WrestleMania.
But
So
see,
that,
you never, you know, you never would think that the women, and they have, because it happened at past WrestleManias, but they've main evented a WrestleMania.
yep,
You know,
and that made national, worldwide news, really.
yes,
Yeah.
And
and
Well,
it broke barriers for them in the wrestling world. They're not
you
eye
look,
candy no more.
you look, how they are in Saudi now. You know,
yeah, that
compared
was,
to
they didn't have women even go. Now they have
right.
multiple matches, including the women's rumble.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a huge step. And then women wrestle women main evented night one of WrestleMania a few years ago when they had Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. That was the very first all black main event, men or women. That was huge, and they've had a number of all black main events since
Yeah.
then. And now it's nothing for the women to main event Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I hope they continue with the Evolution pay per view. I really want. Oh, post show's over now.
Well, I hope they don't break up Alexa and Charlotte, because I like that team for the moment.
I
You know.
Yeah, for the moment, I want to see Alexa go to the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of talk about that. I've heard that, and I'd love to see Braun Strowman come back and join him too, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm not sure if he would be a good fit for them anymore.
Yeah, but he sure would even the number odds.
Just one of him against five other guys. There's your.
Well, look at the way the MFT is.
Oh, I know, I know.
Well, they're fixing to have some storyline problems,
Yeah, I
or
saw that.
problems in their storyline,
Yeah, I
with their storyline, I guess you should say.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tom is going to end up going on his own.
Somebody,
Yeah.
yeah, somebody wasn't too happy. I was just gonna say they wasn't too happy with Solo.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not backlash, but um, if they're able to stretch it out enough, they would probably have Tama versus Solo at SummerSlam.
Or they're going
Uh,
to do the same thing they did with Jacob. You know.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so Stephanie McMahon, I thought she had a great speech. I loved the part where she just started naming like 100 different wrestlers in 30 seconds.
yeah,
It was almost like she was rapping those names. Um, and then she turned heel for the last like 2 minutes of her speech. I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was. Um, and then they did the video induction of Bad News Brown. I was a big fan of his. I thought he totally deserved being in there. It would have been nice if there was a full induction instead of the video package, and same thing with Sid Vicious.
That's because neither one of them are alive.
I know, but they still in the past done
Had the
full,
family come up and accept.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
like
They
with
didn't do that. I know that was kind of
Randy
upsetting.
Savage, Gorgeous George, Eddie Guerrero. I would like for them to continue that on and leave the legacy wing for those like 70s and on down.
Because that Bad News Brown's family was there, and you saw an official go out to give him the ring, you
Yep.
know, but why not let them give a speech? You did so for when they inducted what's his name, and they did the Connors cure thing, Warrior.
Yeah.
Oh, the Warrior. They need to bring that one back too.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That would be always presented during the Hall of Fame ceremony, and that wasn't.
Yeah, but they stopped doing that award when they released Dana Warrior.
No, that's bullshit.
Yep. I fully agree because that
Because
was to me was one of the more prestigious uh,
yes,
categories.
yes, it was.
Um, so they also had this one here has got some. This one here is a mixed bag. To me, it was the all-time worst speech of all Hall of Fames. But a lot of people are saying this was one of the most emotional speeches. But I couldn't understand half of what Dennis Rodman was saying last night.
I couldn't understand a fucking word that came out of his mouth.
Yeah. Um, but I fully agree to his induction because of the work that he had put in during his time with the NWO. He was very instrumental in getting eyes outside of.
Well, he brought in the basketball fans to the wrestling world,
He did. Um,
and vice versa. That that goes back. That's part of WWE's history.
yep.
Because the rock music connection.
Yep.
Remember that?
Cindy Lauper.
Wouldn't have had the
Hmm.
entrances we have today if it wasn't for the rock and music connect. The rock and wrestling connection with Cindy Lauper.
Yeah, and she hasn't been accept put in the Hall of Fame yet.
Yeah, she should be she would have been a better one than Dennis Rodman right now.
She definitely would have been a better speech, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, as kooky as she is, but she still would have been a you know You
Yeah,
would have been able to at least understand a word, every word that was coming out of her mouth.
yeah, you would. Um, but in any case, I I do agree with Dennis Rodman being put in the celebrity wing. But some of the others I don't. Like Drew Carey, William Shatner, they didn't do anything. Dennis Rodman
I
did,
agree.
Kirk, Captain Kirk, that's all he's known for.
pretty much. Yeah,
You know, I mean, he's a terrible actor. You know, I have to say it. I liked him as Captain Kirk and stuff, but you know, every time you see him do something, like he does that one thing unexplained or you know, the paranormal thing, right? You know what I'm talking about, right, Donald? I
Mhm.
saw you shaking your head there. He basically he talks like Kirk talks, you know, like he's acting sometimes. Well, is it real, or is it our imagination? You know,
I've never seen him in another role that wasn't Captain Kirk.
he hosts this show on cable.
I don't have cable.
You got YouTube.
Look it up. It's like The Unexplained or
Well,
something with William Shatner.
I know about it. I just haven't watched it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want to.
I'll
It's like
take it.
most other paranormal shows.
Um,
All the fake bullshit.
Well, I like Josh Gates. You know,
he's good.
I like Josh Gates because him and his team really try to find the real answers.
Yes.
I don't guess I remember what that show is because I don't watch hardly any paranormal shows because it's
I
just
don't either, but I watch Josh Gates and I watch some of the ones that are documentaries like The Extinct or Alive, where they're looking
mm,
for an extinct or, a possibly extinct animal, you know. But some of those ones, yeah, some of them are just out to make money.
Now that's the
correct.
point of doing anything these days.
You know.
You need to make money, but
So,
still, I mean, keep
Keep it
true
real.
to what you're doing.
Yeah, keep it real.
Don't fake shit. Don't put
Right,
fake shit up.
so the
exactly.
You throw this damn static up there as an actual EVP.
Or you get eye shine driving down a road and say, "Oh my God, it's the Beast of Bray Road," and it was
Yeah.
really a raccoon, you know, in a tree. Okay, and you could tell watching the show if you look just right, you could see the raccoon's shape and stuff and tell that it was a raccoon. But to them, that was the Beast of Bray Road.
No, it's for ratings. What
You
it's for.
know, and the Beast of Bray Road is a story that dates back a long time about a Wolfman character.
so the next induction was the one that fans have been waiting for a very long time, and they finally did it. Demolition.
That was worthy.
Yes, and I had a feeling that Haku would be the inductor. I didn't realize they were going to get three of them.
Well, Crush was gone too.
Yeah,
Crush had passed away. So,
yeah, but he would. I don't think he would. He would have been.
no, because he wasn't with them for very long.
No, and by the time he came in, they were at the tail end
Yeah,
of their last title run.
yeah,
Um, but I was so glad to see the Warlord come out
yeah.
to be an inductor because aside from his 2 second Royal Rumble entry that one year, ever since he left the WWF back in '92, he never got mentioned for anything ever since. I'm
Well,
so glad he came out for this one. They put
that's
him.
because it's a new era. It's not like Vince McMahon holding a grudge on somebody, and we're not going to speak of him ever again.
Hmm.
You know, you got Triple H and Stephanie at the helm now.
So hopefully we might see an induction for the powers of pain somewhere down the line.
You know,
Um,
did China ever get her induction?
not for
Not for Solo yet.
no,
She
not for
might now. You know, now that they're in charge, because that was all Vince too.
yeah. Well, Triple H did say that she is going to get put in solo at some point.
Well,
It
see,
has to be the timing is right, and I think he wanted to get Stephanie in first. I
right.
he probably didn't feel right putting China.
I understand that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get her in next year now. Bill Eadie acts, I thought, looked really good for being 78 years old. Um, Smash was 67, I think. He looked pretty good too. And then the final inductee of the night was AJ Styles. He kept it short and sweet. He basically said that, his career speaks for itself. He doesn't need to do a long speech, and admitted that he does not miss wrestling because now he gets to spend time with his family. Which, you know, how how can you argue against that?
You can't.
Right.
You
Um,
know,
Well, you're
but
gone for so long, with on the road doing the work, and you're away from your family for most of the year. Missing birthdays, missing holidays, missing anniversaries.
right.
So now he's able to concentrate on just you know being a dad and husband.
Yep.
well, and he's been traveling and doing this for well over 20 years too.
Hmm.
You know, not just in WWE.
Right.
You know.
He was actually in WCW before that
Oh,
closed.
that's right. He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, for like 2 months. He was there for 2 months before McMahon bought it.
But what about Sid Vicious? Or didn't he get inducted?
He got inducted. They did a. I want to say they did a video montage also on him.
I must have missed that.
Um,
Yeah,
his
we
son.
talked
I
about.
saw
Yeah,
I saw a post on Facebook with his son and all that kind of dogging WWE about the whole way everything was done, uh, when in regards to Sid and all that. And
he should have waited until Monday to make that post because
exactly.
it, it came out tonight, and then they'll be coming out again tomorrow night. And I'm thinking, holy cow, you couldn't wait two
Yeah,
days.
that's what my yeah that was my thinking too. Is like, look, just hold your tongue for till this weekend is over.
Yeah.
And if you want to say whatever you want to, go right ahead. But and it may be the point where he doesn't give a shit. And I see that side too.
Yeah, I can see.
Um, but I think they should have done. They should let the families come up and talk briefly. Let somebody come up and talk. If he was not the family, you know, somebody that knows the wrestler, personally. But like JYD, when JYD went in the Hall of Fame, his family come up and talked, if I remember right. Um,
JYD was
so I mean,
class
you
of
know, just
'04, I think.
just doing a video montage a lot of times, I could see some in some instances, but you know, Sid I think deserved a little bit more
Hmm.
uh, than what he got. Sid was always one of my favorite ones in Continental Championship when he was Lord Humongous. Um, so
And he was 45 years old too when he died, and that's the same age I am right now.
That's because no, I'm not going to get into that. That's
The
controversial.
Vicious was 45.
No, I thought you were talking about JYD.
Oh no, no, I was, but I got back on Sid.
No,
But
Sid was
Sid,
63, I think.
yeah, um, JYD was one of my. I don't know all those old wrestlers, man. I love those
Yeah,
old
my
wrestlers.
mom. He was one of my mom's favorites because of the way he danced around the ring.
I
Kind
can't
of
listen to it.
kind of like Fatu,
Yeah,
Jacob.
I can't listen to Queen. Another one bites the dust without thinking of JYD coming out of the ring. You know,
Yeah, he
doing the whole dance on the apron,
Yeah,
dancing with the kids.
he was big on
had
that.
that effect on people.
Yeah, he was big on charisma. He had a lot of charisma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he had a big heart too.
Yeah, um, he died in
Uh,
a car wreck in Pearl, Mississippi.
Sid was 63 when he died, and holy cow, it's almost 2 years now since he's been gone. Sid is one of those. He might be the only wrestler who he's only had two WrestleMania appearances, and both of them were in the main event. I don't know of anyone else who can be able to say that has more than one match, and every time was in the main event.
Yeah,
That's something pretty special.
yeah. We
So
got through the Hall of Fame. AJ was Was AJ the last?
AJ was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I still think it's cool how they all have jobs afterwards. They may be retired from the ring, become in the Hall of Fame, and AJ's working behind the scenes now.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that was his choice too. He could
yeah, but
have
they
just
gave him that choice.
yeah he could have just I'm done. No more on the road. No more WWE. No more wrestling. Anything. I'm done.
Nope, but I think he's got a contract where he's guaranteed to be home or work from home or
Yes,
only so many days a week so that he can spend time with those kids.
yes.
Yeah.
His job now is to find the next AJ Styles.
Yep.
So let's get into night one of WrestleMania. They had 7 matches. Uh, There towards the end, John Cena made the announcement that the attendance was 50,816, which is pretty good considering a couple of weeks ago they were only down to 42,000. Um, and the stadium did look pretty full.
Yeah, I saw a couple shots, which nowadays you can't tell what's real and what's not anymore.
Yeah.
That is true.
A lot of AI going on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they'd be able to do AI for a live shot.
I
Who
don't
says
know.
it's live?
True. There is like I think a 20-second delay so that they can bleep out or anything or black out stuff.
Well, they didn't seem to bleep out much tonight because I sure was listening to the things some of those wrestlers and crowds were saying, and man, they dropped some of those bombs that you you would have been sure if that was on Netflix or anything else, that would definitely been bleeped out.
Oh, they would have done the first hour, that's for sure, because the first hour of Mania was on ESPN2.
Hmm.
Tomorrow, the first hour is going to be on the regular ESPN, which that in itself is big news. Because
Well, I don't know. I heard the F bomb and that this and that dropped a few times, so
during the first hour,
I don't know. I don't know which one was which. I didn't have to do the switching and stuff. I just was
Yeah, I
watching.
didn't either. I was
I
watching
had
straight from my app.
I Well, I got some kind of subscription to the cable for ESPN, so it goes Disney, Hulu Plus, and ESPN something. And so I just found it on ESPN, and I didn't have to switch from 1 hour to the next.
Yeah, that's the way mine was on my, because I've used my Xbox to stream,
Yeah, so
and
First hour for
it'll
me,
just
I
switch.
was buffering a lot. Then once it got out of the ESPN hour, then everything was fine from that point on. That first
well,
hour, the second match was a bitch for me. I missed out a lot of that match because of that buffering. All right.
Wow,
So
something
opening
right down. Yeah.
WrestleMania 42 was the six-man tag match with Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed versus LA Knight and the Usos. This is
Yeah,
Jay Uso's.
it's up sticks.
Uh, Jay Uso is now one of the few to open Mania back-to-back years.
You
Um,
know, we talked about him possibly um, turning on his brother during this match.
I thought for sure he would.
Well, when they come out and his music, they change the lyrics of his music. Now it's, instead of it's just me Oos, it's you and me Oos.
yeah,
Okay.
well, I
And
don't
then
think.
Jimmy's in there talking too during the lyrics, uh, and it's got
Well,
the Usos in there. So
well,
after I saw
like
that, I was like, then I got to put all that stuff in there and then have him turn.
yeah,
Yeah,
like I
see,
said a couple weeks ago, they completely changed the theme, and the fans really gave it to them about that. So a week later, they went back to the original theme.
well, the whole thing about that is they just kind of reunited them too, and they just lost those tag team belts because what was it? I Show Speed interfered and stuff, and they lost the belts. The Vision got it, and so on and so forth. They haven't even had the rematch yet. Why would they split them up?
Well, I
You know?
think that they might have possibly had the idea of him going heel, but with a backlash on the song and so forth, I think it's like they probably let's try this for a little. Let's try this way a little bit longer before we turn it, because he's been hinting for a while about just getting fed up with the goody goody stuff and still coming out on the bottom end of stuff.
Oh, we forgot to mention that the Hulk and Andre match was inducted into the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, that statue was pretty cool too.
Yes, it was. I wondered if it would be that or if it would be the stare down that they did at the beginning of the match. But I think they made the right choice with the slam.
Yeah.
Like I said, even though they should have just said, if it wasn't for Andre, that match would have never happened because Andre had to have let Hogan do that.
Yep.
Because if Andre didn't want you to slam him, there was no way in hell anybody was going to slam him.
Well,
Nope.
you couldn't pick him up. You can't just
Well,
deadlift him on your own.
not just that. You know, you think about it, and you think about the disease he has, and that's also why they kind of claim that remember when Paul White, aka the Big Show, first was booked in WWE as Andre the Giant's son. He's
Right, they
only
booked
got
him as a
one
giant.
kid. We saw her tonight, or last night at the Hall of Fame. She was there at
Hmm.
that induction of that match.
Speaking of her, did you notice that the dress she was wearing was reminiscent of what Andre wore?
Yep.
I thought that was a nice touch too.
Yes, I thought so too.
Yeah.
But that whole thing was, they booked Paul White, but Paul White, all he had in common with Andre, he got the
He's
same
big.
disease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's because they had the same disease. He didn't stop growing when he should have stopped growing.
That's because he elected not to have that surgery that Paul White did end up having.
Yeah, Paul White ended up smart because he didn't want to,
Die
because the
young.
weight of the Andre, the weight of him and everything, it leaded to his demise. He was in a hotel room in France visiting, and he died of heart failure.
He was actually back in France for his father's funeral.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew he was back visiting for some reason because his best friend found him.
Yep. But I thought that was pretty cool that one, Jimmy Hart did the induction.
Yes,
Um, that man does not age.
So like Dick Clark.
seems like he found like the
The elixir of life.
there's something. Yeah,
He looks exactly the same as he did back in 1988.
yeah. When he did the Heart Foundation,
Yeah, it's unreal. Um, and he is still very
out
active.
north of the South, carrying around that bullhorn.
Yep. And he still does carry it around too.
Yeah, he does.
Um, I was wondering who they would get to do the induction for that one. Um, so Jimmy made sense because everybody else is gone.
But
Bobby's gone.
Jimmy was right there too.
Yeah. Uh,
It was Jimmy and Bobby the Brain Heenan, Andre the Giant, and Hulk Hogan.
well,
You know.
there's also Gorilla Monsoon,
Oh yeah, Gorilla was there too, wasn't he?
Gorilla, Jesse Ventura, but I seriously doubt
Oh,
they
they
not have done the induction for that one. There's no way. Um, Joey
well,
Morello, he died in '94, so
if you notice, hasn't been on the last couple Saturday night main events either.
I know.
That's because he said something or spoke his mind like he usually does, but he pissed off the powers to be.
Well, his contract also ran out too.
Yeah.
He was only signed for 1 year, I think.
Well, then maybe he went back to Mexico and went back in hiding.
No, he's in Minnesota. Last last I heard, he toying around with the idea of getting Minnesota to secede from the U.S., but I don't want to get into politics tonight.
Yeah, and that's not a good idea.
No. But I was glad that Jimmy Hart did the induction and that Andre's daughter Renee and Hogan's son Nick were there to accept the induction. So that was good.
That was perfect. I mean,
It
that
was.
was a good one. I mean, his daughter. I mean, I had no clue that he even had kids.
Yeah, she's the only one.
Yeah, we looked that up. My wife tends to look things up when we're trying to figure things out.
Yeah, she was born in I think it's either '79 or '76, somewhere around there.
76.
Okay, so Usos and LA Knight got the victory.
Yeah, you never bet against a Samoan.
Yeah, but I was so
Never,
sure
never
it was
bet
going to turn on
against
Jimmy.
Samoans. I never bet against the Samoans.
That's
Doesn't matter if they're good or bad. I don't do it.
that's a smart move, but they can't win every time.
Nope.
No, but a lot of times they'll come out on top, and if they lose, it's usually the numbers game.
Right. But I'm glad that LA Knight got the win because I think he needed that little extra push.
Boost
Um,
to his.
and
Well, I like what they did towards the end, which I kind of saw it coming.
with
You
I
know,
speed,
Yeah, when Speed wound up, costing the match more or less, I was like, they're fixing to turn on his ass and go
Well,
after him. And I
I got
knew once they did that, that there were others going to step in and help him out.
There was also that little tease too a couple weeks ago where Logan pushed Speed into LA Knight, and that was actually what led to them making this 6-man tag.
right,
Right.
but see, I think the whole thing they needed to boost LA's ego a little bit too because they want to. They're here's my view. LA Knight's going to be the next Savage. You know, he's got the charisma and he's got the fan base following, and he's now the face of Slim Jim, just like Savage was.
He's got more charisma
And
than
did you see that truck that he pulled up in?
that was awesome. That was
Well, I mean, think about it. He's following the same footsteps in a way without the steroid use that killed Savage. You know, it was his steroid use and drug use and stuff because look how big that son of a bitch was for Spider Man.
what
Mm-hmm.
Spider Man is doing half of his WCW.
Bold saw.
Yeah. But just look how big he was. You
I know.
don't get that big that fast without some help. That's like Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. When they first came over and what's his name? Bad News Barrett should know this. They were not even they were a shadow of what they are today. And steroids made them what they are today.
Well,
They,
you look at
but Savage got the thickness that Scott Steiner got.
Hmm. Because he
that.
did
Yeah,
it
that's
right.
another
Well, he
one.
did it right. He did a lot of working out. And
Yeah.
see, Drew McIntyre is going to end up like Chris Benoit.
You talk about Scott Steiner. He was so roided out he couldn't move anymore. Remember that
Yeah,
him
and
match
he
between him
almost.
and Triple H?
Yeah.
But look
God,
how
I
his
think it was a
attitude.
main event.
Because when he started really using the steroids big time, his brother split from him because of that. And Scott became Big Papa Pump and started getting an attitude. And that roid rage started kicking in on him. And it almost cost him more than his career.
Well, Rick got pretty big too at one point.
Right, but Rick was doing a lot of it all natural, like spending a lot of time in the gyms.
I still don't understand. I have never seen anyone ever that had a tiny bicep on top of the regular bicep. How he ever built, I
Yeah,
don't,
and then the way is the shoulder muscles, it was like one on top of,
yeah.
I mean, that's freakish. I mean, some of those guys got freakishly big because of steroid use. It's like Vince let it happen.
Well, no,
Well,
this was while he was in for Scott and Randy. This was when they was in WCW, so Vince didn't have anything to do with that one.
But it's where it started in WWE, and,
Right.
you know, because those guys were in WWE, well, not Randy, but, before everything took down in WCW, but all the wrestlers were doing it. I mean, because you go away for a couple of, a year or 6 months or whatever because of an injury, and you come back twice as pumped.
well, Triple H
Come
did that
on.
one time.
Yeah, Triple H is another one
Triple
for
H did
that.
that, and so did Vince.
Yeah,
Vince came back one time, and he was
yeah.
all
And
fucked
it
up.
was all, well,
Real bad. So LA Knight got the victory. He needed that extra boost, like you said.
Yeah, because I think they're making him the next Savage, like because he's like the he is doing such a great job with those Slim Jim commercials. They had Jay doing it with him at one time, and they got the other wrestlers doing, and it seems like it ends up always L.A. Knight.
Yeah. Well, he's good at that, especially with the yeah. Slim Jim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Right, and so he's got to catch that perfect catchphrase, so he can do it just as good as Randy did it.
Who would have thought that? Yeah, would have been as
Yeah.
big as big as it got. So
Well, it's kind of like think about it. Randy did it. Oh yeah, you know, kind of like the Kool Aid guy with his raspy voice. That's what his whole thing was his voice.
he did the oh yeah did
Yeah,
and just the way that he talked.
it
He
was
was
his
like he was
voice.
a gruffer Dusty Rhodes.
The
So
cream of the crop.
Yeah. Oh man, and they had such a wonderful feud back there in the '90s
you know.
too.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get
Yeah.
us.
So anyway, Logan Paul turned on Speed, which the heel turned heel again, just like what Dominic did a couple years ago. But Speed ended up getting the last laugh where the guys laid him out on the table and he jumped from the top of the ring post.
Yeah, I thought
He
that.
it was a dang good crossbody splash. It was a really good one.
That that
He
that was
got some
a good way.
height on him.
It was, but there was that second where I thought he was going to slip off that post.
Yeah, but it was a good finish to that
I'm
match.
wondering if it didn't knock the wind out of him when he came down
Oh, he probably did.
because he was over there and he looked like he was
Well,
genuinely hurting.
Yeah,
he's not a very big guy either, so it
Mm.
probably did knock the wind out of him.
I know
But
it
he
did.
got up. He got up quick enough and
Well, they
shook it
grabbed him.
off.
L.A. Knight was picking him up and said, "Come on, get up,
Yeah, he shook it
get in the
off.
ring."
But that adrenaline to do crazy things to you in that
Yeah,
point with that audience and stuff, man.
I'm sure they practiced a good bit on the crash pads and
Yeah,
all, so
yeah, the crash
Yeah,
pad. That's completely different from
hitting
landing
the
on
actual person.
the desk.
and
Yeah,
that desk isn't the same as it used to be.
So
You know?
I wonder now if we're going to start seeing him a little more frequently.
I hope not.
Well, he didn't look like he did bad tonight. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad either.
He didn't
But
really do that much in the ring.
some of them people on the outside, I agree with that. They shouldn't get involved with the matches. I mean, I really like Jelly Roll and all, okay? And he was there
That was
tonight too,
good. That was good.
okay? But,
Yeah.
you know, what if he ever gets hurt and the guy can't perform anymore? You know?
That's.
He's risking an awful lot to be there because that guy's an award winner.
Yeah, but he wants to do this.
I get it, but, you know,
And he's been putting in the work. He moved to Florida. He bought a house in Florida or rented one.
I just hope that he doesn't get hurt and it ruins his singing career because I really like Jelly Roll's music.
I haven't. I need to get some of his stuff, but I haven't really heard anything other than what I've seen on TV.
Me either. It's not my kind of music.
Well, I kind of listen to all kinds of music, so
Donald,
if it's something I like, I'll listen to it.
are you thinking about the rap part of his career or the country part of his career? Because he's done both now.
I like the country part of his career.
It's neither one of my genres.
Oh,
I'm not I'll listen to rap once in a while, but I'm not big into it.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now with Speed. Um, I don't know.
I think he's done.
I'm not opposed to seeing him again, but if he doesn't, it's not going to hurt my feelings either.
I think he's done for right now.
You know,
All right,
Once he
next
gets
match.
WrestleMania
This
open,
is
he's
what
done.
I ended up missing out a lot on because I was getting a lot of buffering, and I'm thinking it was because the whole ESPN thing. Jacob Fatu defeated Drew McIntyre in the unsanctioned match. I did see parts of it. It seemed like they were bringing back shades of the Hell in a Cell match that Drew had with Punk, where they brought in the
well,
toolbox.
the whole thing about that, I want to before we get started in the match. The whole thing about Jacob Fatu being in prison. All right, I looked this up, and it said he was in there for theft. Okay, and what I know about law and stuff like that, and when he got out, because we looked all this up, my wife and I did the research on it. It sounds like maybe it was, we couldn't find out exact details or whatever, but it was like he spent some time in jail, not prison, okay? And it was like for theft. But it wasn't high enough theft where you reach that 2,500 mark, it becomes a felony. Okay, so it was a misdemeanor. He's got 7 kids. Okay, he's a young guy, had 7 kids. Uh,
He's built
what
a
if it was trying to put food
nice.
on the table? He did his time and he was out in probably less time than he was sentenced. He was out in 2 years, and probably a year of probation. So that makes me think that it wasn't armed theft or anything like that, but
2 years,
maybe it
that's
was
still a long
theft to put
time.
food on the table.
2 years is still a long time.
I'm just saying. It wasn't a felony charge, though.
And I would say that's, oh, I'm getting tired already. Yeah, I would say that's a good thing for him anyway.
Put it this way: he was 18 when he got charged with it. He was wrestling by the time he was 20 years old.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was less than 2 years. He was 18 when he got arrested, and he was out wrestling by the time he was 20.
And in that time, he made a hell of a name for himself.
Well, yeah, he's not the same person, and that's what I'm trying to say is I think he did it. It was something like to put food on the table or something of out of necessity that he had to do it.
What I'm seeing is armed robbery.
I didn't see the armed robbery part. I didn't see the armed part.
True John Jeff on armed robbery arrested 18 in California.
The only thing I'm seeing is just robbery.
Yeah, so I mean, still, like I said, 2 years and he's out.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
uh, that
I'm not
that was
from
enough
the
to get
judge. I like
this
Jacob.
fight around.
See, I like Jacob the minute he showed up.
He is
A wild card.
well, yeah, he is a wild card. He is also supremely um, gifted. He's so good. I would put him right up there on that same level with Roman right now.
Well, yeah, I would too. I mean, I really like the way he does it. I mean, and being called the Samoan werewolf, it suits him.
It does. It really does.
You
Uh,
know, and the way he came out dressed for that match tonight, hey, he was ready.
he was right.
He
And
was.
I like that graphic that they did for him, where they had the bars, and they all started racing, and here he comes. The thing that I wasn't a fan of with this match was These guys were hitting each other with everything, including that toolbox. And Drew had taken a wrench and just started driving it into his head. No blood.
Yeah, I mean, he had it, basically like this, but like that,
Yeah,
and just doing it on the head like that,
but still, for a match like that,
and
and
have no blood.
they
Those
should have had
Samoans are
some
thick
blood.
skinned, though.
Right. But with it being on ESPN, I can understand why they didn't do the blood thing, which really they should have put one of the women's matches in that first hour for the ESPN viewers.
I agree. They should have moved that one into the main show, and then moved, you know, so who else we had?
Yeah. Like like say
You
AJ
could
and
have.
Becky, they could have had that one in the
But I
Yeah,
like I
hour.
like the
I
way
agree.
Drew McIntyre backed off though that first time that Jacob had that toolbox and he was going to hit him with it and he kind of fell backwards and rolled out of the ring. Like fuck
Yeah,
this shit.
yeah, that's good storytelling there.
Yeah. Um
Put
so
him,
Jacob
put
won.
some
Do
stitches
you think
again.
that was the right choice?
Jacob went over Drew.
Yeah, do you think that was the right choice?
I do, and I think Drew's probably going to take some time off. Either that, or if he does stay around, then this match is not. Then this feud is not over. But
Do,
I really feel Drew's probably going to take some time off.
do you have your notes nearby where you and I were doing the prediction? Who did we pick for this match?
Uh, on this one, let me get this one. We both picked Drew.
Okay.
We lost out on this one. Now the first one we both picked LA and the Usos to win.
No, I
Really,
have addition.
not from my notes.
Are you sure? Because I was
I
going
was I
addition
wasn't available to make
Jay
predictions.
turning.
You did say Jay turns the
Yeah,
heel. Okay, I see where you did change it. Okay. Well, then you don't get that one. You don't get credited with that one.
yeah.
Zero. Well,
Yeah,
that didn't do you no favors there.
well, I'm not worried about numbers.
But I've always said I don't bet against the Samoans, so
Yeah, and the Samoans all won, which means Roman will probably end up winning tomorrow. And now, initially, I did say Punk, but after seeing SmackDown last night, I'm really thinking it's going to be Roman.
well they're not done with Roman yet.
No, they're not.
And the whole thing is, when they were talking about Roman and everything he's overcome, and who was it? Who was sitting at that table where it looked like they were outside and there was four of them at the desk. One of them, it was Shawn Michaels. He was like talking about Roman and all that he's gone through or something like, everything he's overcome. And they forgot to mention that Roman's got leukemia and he's got the version called CLL, which means it's chronic. Okay, it never goes away. So that's another thing Roman has to overcome. With every single day, he could have medical issues preventing him from wrestling that day. You know, because that leukemia that he has will never go away. There's no cure for it. Unlike mine, where I was AML, I had acute myeloid leukemia. He has CLL or CML. It's chronic. It doesn't go away.
And it's
So
amazing that,
when he disappears, he's probably getting treatments.
yeah,
When he disappears for a month or two at a time. But they're not done with him yet.
no. He's still got quite a bit of time left on
Because
his.
that Samoan legacy is going to get bigger
Yes,
before it's all said and done.
I'm waiting on Zilla Fatu to make his debut.
You know, there's
All right.
a few of them that have yet to show up.
Yep. Lance.
Yep.
Lance. Yeah, Lance, Zillow. And then you got all the children. They got like 40 children between all of them.
Oh, there's a lot of them. But
Yeah.
the thing was, there was one, I think it was Lance, that showed up and helped Roman out at one time, and then he was in NXT, and then he disappeared again to NXT or whatever, and
Oh, I forgot about that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
that was a few years ago. I was that like towards the very beginning of his uh, long run.
yeah, I think it was.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next match. We got the Fatal Four Way Tag match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. You had Nia Jackson, Last Legend, defending against the Bella Twins, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. There was a report. Um,
It was all over the internet.
yeah, well, I'm actually going earlier than that.
Oh, okay,
A few weeks ago, it was revealed that Nikki had hurt her ankle,
right.
Mm-hmm.
um, but she was rehabbing it and working on it, trying to be able to come into WrestleMania. And then yesterday, during the day, it was announced that Paige had signed a new multi-year contract, and they were expecting her to replace Nikki. But Nikki threw a swerve at us at the Hall of Fame. She was walking around with the boot on, but no crutch, and she was saying that she was going to be competing tonight. But she was probably say that to try to counterbalance the page reports, which
Well,
makes sense.
they they should have waited until after WrestleMania to announce her re-signing. I
Well,
don't know why they didn't keep that hush hush.
see,
Just
problem is it's who leaked it. I'm pretty sure that the people that she signed, the the people that she did the negotiations with, weren't intending on telling people because they do want to try to keep things as a surprise. But this one here somehow made it.
yeah, it was. It's disappointing when you
It
work
was
on
a
stuff like
terrible
that.
secret.
Yeah, it's just disappointing when you throw this get this leak out there and you just ruin the whole surprise. Um, 'cause they were making a comment. I know Joe brought it up before we come on the air, but was making a comment. This big secret. Paige coming re-signing with things like nobody knew. Like shit,
Yeah,
everybody freaking knew.
everybody did.
I said,
Yeah,
but
well,
damn,
that's like he's like, I wish I would have known. It was one of the commentators sitting ringside, and it's like, you dumb fuck, everybody knows.
Yeah,
yeah,
but even
it's
though
like
everybody knew, Paige still had probably the biggest pop of the night
Right.
when she came out.
Because,
yeah,
half those people probably thought it was rumors because, they don't take time to do the research,
Yeah.
well,
try to find rumor from fact,
yeah, I saw a guy holding a sign up.
you know.
Oh, Paige is back.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I know.
you know,
Right after Michael said nobody knew she was coming.
think
Oh,
about it.
you guys just showed it.
Every time there's a WrestleMania or a big pay-per-view, there's always rumors of somebody coming back and they never show up because they're still under contract with AEW or wherever they're at, and they're too happy. Like, how many times have you heard, oh, the Shield's going to be coming back and reuniting? No. Dean Ambrose, aka John Moxley, is too happy where he is.
Well, it's different with this because Paige wasn't under contract with anybody.
Right. Well, Paige's contract expired. She didn't sign a new one. She had to wait a little time, and then you know, she was biding her time for her comeback. But she figured probably AJ can do it, so can I.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and those two had a big feud before they left.
Well, I remember when she won that title from AJ. I remember when she
Yeah.
beat AJ. I
So
remember seeing
see,
that.
Her first night there.
I know, but history could still kind of repeat itself in a way.
It did tonight because Paige and Nikki are now the tag team champions.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I get it, but her and AJ, the feud could reignite too now that she's back.
Well, I don't see them two holding this title very long.
Probably not.
No,
I
Nikki
give it a
would
month.
be jealous.
Backlash. I
I
would
give it a month.
see that backlash.
Yeah.
Um,
Nikki look a little jealous there.
I see them losing it
During their
probably
celebration.
possibly to Bailey and Lyra.
You know.
well, I
And of
think
course,
I wouldn't cut out Charlotte and Alexa either. They're
no,
trying to get gold back.
before the end of the year. I think they're going to split before the end of the year.
Well,
now
they have to in order for Alexa to join the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, and
And that's been planned out for quite a while, and I don't know what they've been waiting for.
her outfit was screaming Wyatt Six.
Yeah, tonight. Oh, that was awesome. I was like trying to ignore the ding 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 of my phone because of it always comes from the show side of everything. So I've got Things Network, Fear Fans, everything over there. So it comes through my phone, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, shut up.
yeah,
Here's
she was when she
I'm
come out
saying
first.
stuff.
here's
When they
what
come out,
about their outfits tonight.
But when you were saying, earlier, I got it. You were saying about her outfit and stuff, and it's like, wow, now I know what they were talking about. That is fucking cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
she was.
look at it this way:
A moth and a butterfly.
moth and a butterfly. But there was another aspect to it. Charlotte, she'd come out looking like a color TV, and Alexa was old school black and white TV.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Wyatts are doing their vignettes, it's all in black and white.
Yeah.
She
Hmm.
is going to the Wyatts at some point. It's just a matter
Well,
of when.
it's like, look at Nikki. When she comes out in that thing, her face paint and stuff, it's all black and white. You know, it makes them look spookier the way they do it.
Yes.
Well, even Alexa's makeup that come out, it was just this gray, dark. It was white,
Yeah,
almost like zombie-ish look to it. It looked freaking awesome.
yeah, she looked really cool.
Yeah, it was so good. And also, speaking of cool, when Nia Jackson Last Legend came out, they were doing their tribute to Demolition. What I thought was so cool was with Demolition, you have two white guys wearing the black outfit. Now you have two black women coming out wearing the white outfit. I thought that was so
Kind of unique, yeah.
yeah. I thought that
I want
was
to go.
I got it right away too. I was like, at first it took like a second to sink in, and it's like, oh, Demolition.
yeah.
Tribute to
Yeah,
Demolition because it was white. That's the only thing that threw me.
Yeah, I thought that was so awesome. Um,
I want to go back to Charlotte and Bliss's intro when they both come down, the ring together. They'll see the difference in the size of the arena colors. Where you had on the left side of here, Bliss was all, that gray and dark, and Charlotte's side was all,
Rainbow.
pastels and rainbow stuff. It was like that
yeah.
was really freaking cool.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
if
like the contrast that those two because they play off of each other so well.
Hmm.
It'd be a bitch to kind of break them up, but it's inevitable if they're gonna take Alexa over to the Wyatt Six. And
yeah,
the reason I heard, the only reason that she was thrown in with Charlotte was to give Charlotte a boost. After turning heel. After she turned heel, and then this was turning her back to the good side again. Being a baby face, but they, I still think they're working on boosting Charlotte more.
yeah, but Charlotte is so much better as a heel.
Yeah, but she must have either personally got sick of doing it or the powers to be said it's time for you to change.
Either that or she wants to sell more merch.
Yeah,
Could be.
Babyface sells a lot more merch after a couple of divorces. Like, hey, I need to cut. I need some
right.
more money in my bank account.
And
Make me a good guy again.
Alexa's kind of trying to teach her how to be nicer to people, maybe. Who
And
knows?
sometimes it
All
doesn't.
I know is Alexa's there to help Charlotte's career.
And sometimes it doesn't seem like Alexa is doing very well with that.
No, I think she is well ready to go to where she wanted to go because, Bray Wyatt helped her career and she has yet to honor Bray Wyatt than do
And
more than
maybe
carry that doll out and do Sister Abigail.
maybe she's
She is
doing
sister.
the same thing for Charlotte that Bray did
Did
for
for
her.
her, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Because Bray really, even though Alexa was already very good, very
Yeah,
charismatic,
but she came out with the wrong costume idea, looking like Harley Quinn. Remember that?
I do.
And nobody took her seriously because of that.
Liv
look,
Morgan is a better Harley Quinn.
Right. She's she's more of a lunatic.
She is the lunatic.
Right.
Um,
I agree with that 100%. Liv Morgan should have had that look.
yeah. Uh, Charlotte Flair, from what I read, her outfit was designed by the same girl who designed her outfit at Survivor Series, the one that had that neurological disease. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Hey,
yeah,
Nick.
That makes sense. What's
yeah.
up, Nick?
Huh? Oh, I did not see Nick there, and he's watching on YouTube.
Awesome. Yeah, we got one, two. That was on YouTube.
Yeah, we got four YouTube
Um,
channels going right
Well,
now.
I couldn't put mine up there, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Uh, well, shit, because the one
Can't do
didn't
it
go.
now. Don't worry about it, Jeremy. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, with the one that did not go live, you might have been able to take that one over.
Because right now I got website issues that I got to worry about.
Okay.
So,
So I think that Donald and I both agreed that the Bella twins were going to end up winning this match. No,
you picked Bailey and
Lyra.
Lyra. I picked the twins.
Okay.
I would have picked Charlotte and Alexa because I like them a lot.
I thought the twins were going to win it just because they're back together and this whole
Yeah,
thing
but
was going to give them their WrestleMania
there's
moment.
some rust in the twins.
So
One was back longer than the other, and then one get injured. There's some ring rust there.
that don't matter. That don't matter in their eyes.
No, but still, I'm just saying. And then,
I mean, if
but
that
the
was the
way
case,
it
Jade
turned
wouldn't
out,
have the damn title.
the whole way it turned out, I didn't see that coming.
I'm
Except that
glad.
I knew Paige was going to step in for Nikki.
I'm glad that they did end up winning, because I think that was probably major validation for Paige.
Yeah, but Nikki looked a little jealous. I got a feeling there could be something happening there.
Probably will be.
So who knows how they'll play that one out. I
Hey,
could, I could see that going one of two ways. They either turn on Paige, Nikki turns on Paige, or Bree turns on Nikki.
no, I don't see Bree turning on Nikki. I do see them turning on Paige, and then AJ gets involved, and it's AJ and Paige against the belt.
Oh,
That would be good.
that
That would
would
be
be a
real good.
hell of a fight. I like the way you think.
And then
Yeah,
they could turn that into Paige and AJ again.
Yep, I like the way you think.
maybe I should apply to be a
Yeah,
wrestler.
maybe. Some of
We
these
had this
matches
discussion
they make
before.
kind of suck. But anyway,
So I think they went with the right choice here, Bree and Paige. You could see that Paige was very emotional the second that match was over.
yeah. Well, like just like uh, AJ, the two of them have a lot to catch up on
Yes,
because you've got the Intercontinental belt, the U.S. title belt, tag title belt, and these weren't available when either one of them quit.
right.
Mm.
They were still diva titles. There
Yeah.
was still just a diva title, and now it gives both AJ and Paige a chance to get their hands on these other titles to kind of add to their resume. You
Uh,
know.
so
Well, look at Trish Stratus. She came
actually,
back
no,
just
no.
to get her hands on it for.
Think about this. What if we have Bree and Paige versus Nikki and AJ?
Whoa, that would be something else.
That
But
would
I
be
don't think that would. I got a feeling that
not,
those
yeah,
two.
not likely, but that's a battle bowl match.
Yeah,
If you remember what that one was.
right.
And this is actually a good segue because the next match is AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Um, did we pick Becky, Donald?
Yes, we picked Becky.
Okay.
No, we didn't. We picked AJ on this one because we thought that Jessica was going to cost Becky the title somehow or another, and that was going to spawn her and Car and Becky.
Okay. And it,
And it kind of thought when the way the white match was going, I was kind of like, yep, this is something's going to happen here, but and something did happen, but it didn't.
something did happen, just not in the way that we thought it was.
Something did happen, and they had this opportunity to go ahead and do what we thought they were going to do, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
It just it didn't make any sense.
Because this would have been the perfect opportunity for Jessica to do something. Yeah, she pushed Becky, and Joe said that that was the first time that she had done that.
Right? And then during the whole match where Becky pulls her into the way of AJ,
Right, that should have been an automatic
That is disqualification. Yeah.
yeah, that just didn't. Now I will say this, she didn't go down and fake a dang injury for 20 minutes like most of the guys do. I'm talking about the referees.
fair. When you have a 95-pound woman charging at you, she's not going to do much.
Well, I mean, you've seen referees barely get hit, pushed out of the way, and they're down outside the ring for 20 minutes
I know, but
before they get back up.
the wrestlers are also 250 pounds. AJ is less than half that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jessica's got more weight than AJ does.
Right.
Um, and I'm following her on Facebook along with several other wrestlers. And I've been seeing posts where she's been doing a lot more working out and all that, getting toned and all that. So there's going to be at some point in time where, in the very near future, I see her and Becky tying up.
Yeah, but I just don't understand why they are stretching it out this long.
They had a perfect opportunity at WrestleMania
Yes, they
tonight to do it with her pushing Becky back and then basically costing Becky the title. Then powers that be come in and fire her or suspend her or whatever, and then she goes ahead and continues that storyline and starts getting
yeah.
a feud between her and Becky.
Or yeah, where
As
Becky
a wrestler,
Becky does her whine to the powers that be, unsuspend her, make her a wrestler, so I can have a match with her, etc., etc.
right? I mean,
You
it's just
know,
perfect
yeah,
storyline.
it'd be a good storyline. They could drag it out, but yeah, they dropped the
Wrestling in
ball.
Evolve.
Do what?
She is wrestling in Evolve.
Right. I mean, it's just I don't
They
understand.
just
They
don't.
dropped the ball on that one.
The ending didn't make any sense. The
No,
way they played it out, it just didn't make any sense. With her getting pulled in and getting
it was.
knocked by AJ.
It wasn't a good ending.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, I did not like that at all. All right, up next is Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Now I know I had Gunther picked for this one
Yes, both of us had Gunther on this one.
because he
So
had a lot on the line. Seth,
wasn't 100%.
right, but he didn't have anything on the line in terms of what do I have against Gunther. It's just
Yeah,
a grudge
It's
match.
just,
I think this is Gunther's catalyst to work towards getting Brock at SummerSlam.
yep, I agree. Now I have to go back and look at it, but Seth came down to the ring. He had a his Seth had the not Seth wardrobe on. He didn't look like he was wearing his wife's outfits.
Yeah,
you didn't get a
And it
chance to raid Becky's closet.
Yeah, it was all black and it had holes in it, and there's smoke coming
Oh, coming out,
out of
yeah.
his gear, which I thought was pretty cool. But
and
then they
it
showed
also
his
makes sense with
close
the
up.
whole burn it down thing too, because he literally is burning it down.
They
Right.
had it. They had a close up on his eyes, and it looked like he had black contacts in.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were
that
demon eyes.
makes
But then
He
he's
looked like
during
a demon out of the supernatural thing, because when demons
yeah,
they have those black
yeah,
eyes, and that's
I just
exactly how he looked. I'm
yeah.
like, when you guys said black eyes, and I'm looking at the chat, and I'm going, because I was behind you for a while, because we had to pause things and stuff, and I'm like, looking for him to have like a couple of shiners, right? And I'm going, what
Oh,
the
you got
hell?
that kind of black eye.
That's what I was expecting. And when he
not like
came
Liv's
out,
black
I'm like,
eyes.
what the hell? And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, because Seth had come out with um, contacts before WrestleMania. I don't remember if they were black eyes or if they were a different color, but he had done this once before a few years ago.
But here's the thing that I want to know is when did he take the damn things out?
I think when
But
he did, when he kind of did that, he was in the ring and he did the thing where it kind of looked like he was shaking his head, and he did the thing. It was before the match started, and all of a sudden, I think they dropped out. He did something, and he was
I don't know
really
what he did. I wear contacts,
right, but I think
and
he
I don't know
like
how in the
somehow
hell.
was
you wear
able to get it
contacts,
out without touching
you
them.
wear glasses because you're so old.
No, I wear contacts so I can see far off, and when I have contacts, the contacts messes up my close up vision. So
Yeah.
I have to wear reading glasses when my contacts are in. If I don't have my contacts in, I can see just fine up close,
Yeah.
but it messes up my nearsightedness.
The
But
way that this match started, I hate it, and it's not because of this particular match. It's because they do this every single time. When somebody attacks someone, they never ring the bell right away. They wait,
Yeah,
wait, wait, and let them do their thing. Then get them both back in the ring, facing each other, standing up. Then let's ring the bell. No, ring the bell now. I
yeah,
hate
they
hate that.
just
Dude. Yeah, I hate this new thing that they do with that. I think it's stupid. I would say, okay, somebody attacks somebody right away.
Well, at least it didn't end up
Ring
like
the bell.
sometimes where it's like, oh, this match just gets thrown out. You know, where they
Right.
attack each other before the bell, and then all of a sudden you're expecting this good match, and they just
It
throw
just
it out
gets right.
because they
Everybody
can't
comes
get
down and
orders.
breaks it up.
I can see them doing that at a lower tier pay per view, but not at WrestleMania.
Well, I'm just saying that's the kind of thing they've been known to do in the past, and I'm glad they didn't do it for this match.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember them doing that with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens a couple of years ago.
This
Uh,
match was it was okay. It wasn't nothing to write home about. The biggest part of it was, of course, the ending. Um, with Braun coming down and interfering, spearing Seth, which wasn't the greatest spear that he's
Yeah, and
done.
wasn't, but
it wasn't
And
the greatest way to end a match either because that was also very predictable too.
yeah, and then him, Seth trying to stand up and Braun come running back down the ramp, at high speed and spear him again. And I mean, he didn't even hit him.
Yeah, it
His,
didn't look
his
like he
arm
hit.
wound up
Oh,
catching him. It was like, good lord,
he
like
needs,
that was
he
a
needs to stop.
bad
yeah,
spear.
it was.
He needs to stop jumping. And I can imagine what it must be like for him because, yeah, one, he's running fast, and two, he's going downhill.
Yeah,
Meaning that would be very easy for him to lose his balance.
Oh yeah, I've seen. I mean, come on, you could make a blooper video off of all the people that have lost their balance and stuff on that ramp
Yeah,
oh yeah.
over the years.
Brock is the last one that he didn't do it on the ramp. He did it at the entryway where he
Well,
fell.
I'm just saying, yeah, it is a dangerous thing to do.
Well, you had that one guy that was running down during I think a Royal Rumble and he slid under the damn ring.
yeah, I know. I hate it when they use that particular clip for comedy and everything because that was Titus O'Neil. And when he slipped underneath the ring like that, he was like 2 inches away from the pillar, the support leg, and people would say this would never be not funny, and I replied, this will never be funny because 2 inches to the right, he's dead.
Yeah, well, I kind of feel sorry for Titus O'Neil because after that, it kind of, you know,
It was never the
people
same.
wouldn't let him live it down either.
Yeah. Now, to his credit, the next time he was in the regular Royal Rumble, he ran to the ring and then he stopped and then he raised his hands up because he knew what everybody was waiting on. And so they cheered him because he did not fall and go underneath the ring. That part was funny.
Well,
So
I
he
think
leaned in on that one. I'll
I
give him
think
credit.
Vince and the WWF and WWE kind of dropped the ball with him to begin with.
Oh, they did, but at the same time, Titus is their biggest ambassador,
I
and
get
that,
that, but
yeah,
he could have been a bigger, better wrestler too if they would have taken the time and invested in him.
right. But I think what really did it in for him was they tried to make him a heel. He tried to be a heel, but he is just
Oh yeah, that failed miserably. That backfired in their face.
he is just too likable a guy to be a believable heel.
He's one of those guys that you meet in person. They may be intimidating, but they're like a teddy bear. You know,
Yes.
you meet it's like an old school guy like me. You know, you go out and you meet this big dude, and he looks like Grizzly Adams, and you think you're terrified of him, but He's just a big old teddy bear.
Right.
And I've known people like that. My Uncle Alan was like that. Looked a lot like Grizzly Adams in the day. But he lived on 40 acres and built a cabin and stuff. He was kind of like that. But he was,
That
the nicest man you'd ever want to meet in your life.
that would be nice.
And I could see that with a lot of these wrestlers because, a lot of their things is all an act. They're
Yeah,
playing,
well,
they're
like
playing a character.
Obafemi, I've seen an
I imagine that guy's just a huge teddy bear too.
he is. I actually just watched an interview that he had with Stephanie on her podcast, and he is a very articulate speaker.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he's
you look back at some of these characters that some of these wrestlers portrayed, and you wouldn't believe the reality behind the character.
right.
The bushwhackers. Those
Yeah.
guys were college graduates. I was standing in line at a concession stand during a wrestling match at the Dane County Coliseum in Madison, and
Remember
right
that.
there in front of me was the bushwhackers. I had no idea who they were because they weren't even talking like the bushwhackers talked, and they were wearing turtlenecks and suit jackets and stuff, and it's like you would have no idea. And then all of a sudden, I see them walking back to where it says wrestlers only, and it's like, oh my God, that was the bushwhackers.
Those guys I would have loved to have met in person.
And I realized that it was already too late because they were beyond that point where I could go.
Right.
But if I would have realized it right then, I would say, could I get a picture with you guys? You know,
Yeah.
but it was the coolest thing in the world. You wouldn't believe the stuff I've seen because I wasn't afraid to kind of break the rules sometimes. Like
No.
like the Coliseum, the Dane County Coliseum is the biggest thing in Madison for events, right? And when the wrestling match was out, me and my buddies would get on our bikes and we'd go back to where the cars would be exiting with the wrestlers, and sometimes the wrestlers would come out and talk to you and sign autographs. So I used to see, oh, here's Yokozuna after getting into a fight with the Ultimate Warrior, and the Ultimate Warrior is getting into the same limo. You know.
Yoko was the big teddy bear.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, you saw things you wouldn't expect to see.
Yeah.
Yoko's after a big major fight with the Ultimate Warrior, he shared a limo with the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And they had a roll, and the thing about it is, you saw Yokozuna getting in the limousine, right? And then all of a sudden, and the limo drops a few inches, and then all of a sudden the garage door comes down. All right, but it comes down, and you can still see from the knees down, and you saw those signature, fringed boots that the Ultimate Warrior wore. And then because the makeup was off his face, so they brought the garage down, until he got in the limo, and then you could see,
Somebody just posted on Facebook at WrestleMania, people were paying $500 for a tomahawk steak. That's ridiculous.
yeah, it's like the prices for any event. I mean, can you imagine what the prices for WrestleMania tickets were?
I know what the prices are.
All right, enlighten me, please.
16,000, no, $30,000 for front row tickets.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It is.
That doesn't give the normal working average class person a chance to enjoy something they've been watching for years.
TKO
Right.
doesn't care about
I
that.
mean,
As long as it's
all right,
money.
let's take this a step further. SmackDown or Raw, whichever one. Take your pick. Come to Milwaukee here in Wisconsin. We gotta. They come to Milwaukee once in a while. You know what the tickets are for that? For Monday Night Raw or SmackDown taping of wrestling?
Probably two.
200-300 bucks. For really good seats, you're spending almost 1,000.
Yeah, I would expect ringside to be about 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay, we have here in Fort Wayne. Um, Saturday night's main event's going to be here next month.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking at Ticketmaster right now to see what the prices are. Loading, loading, loading. Oh, that's right. I can't look. Damn. I have to look otherwise because I have something on the computer that's preventing me from looking at certain websites because of my location.
But just to keep it going, so we don't have a whole lot of dead air. Those tickets are a few $100s. You
Oh yeah,
know,
I mean,
and
I
I
can't.
remember back in the day when my brother, my full brother, not my half brother, my full brother and a couple of our best friends back in the day used to attend wrestling on a regular basis every time they came to town. And the most we ever paid for our tickets, and we were a couple rows from the ring, were $50.
I remember the last house show I went. It's been back when Batista had just gotten uh, his back tattoo done, and he hadn't had it colored yet. It was when he was with Flair
Oh,
and
the
Randy.
Oh, so
Evolution,
Evolution, yeah.
Evolution, and it was a house show, and I think we were not ringside, but we were like 3 or 4 rows back from ringside in the
Yeah,
entryway. So we
right.
got to see all the wrestlers coming in. We paid like $25.
Yeah. See,
You know,
back in the day, the tickets were a lot cheaper. Now they want, $400 or $500 for those same seats.
my dad and I went to WrestleMania 8. We were in the nosebleeds, and our tickets were $25 a piece, but this was 92.
Yeah, and those tickets today would probably cost you a few $100.
me
Uh,
and my uncle did the nosebleeds, and it was like $20 at the time. It was WCW back when Wolfpack was.
Really? Did you see that comment
hello,
from
China.
Joanne Stewart?
It's China's. Oh, yeah. Yesterday was the anniversary of China's death.
Mm,
That
such a
that
sad story.
it is, and that's also another, like, I'm pretty sure in unintended irony because that was the same day of her death is where Stephanie gets inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were people jumping all over that one on social media today. I'm pretty sure that that was not their
Well,
intention.
it's not Stephanie's fault. Well, it is kind of too, but it's more Vince's fault what happened to her. You know, because of the way she was treated. You know, the way they let her go. I got to protect my daughter, and we don't want Triple H to be around her. That kind of thing. Blah blah blah. And they blackball her from the business. And so she ends up doing porn and shit and getting addicted to drugs and so on and so forth. It's a sad story. I've seen the documentary.
I remember when the story broke out when China did that one video with X-Pac.
Yeah.
I was shocked by that one.
She was also doing drugs with X-Pac, and he was trying to break her from it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He blames himself for some of that. But it's a lot with McMahon and the whole blackballing her. You know? I mean, she couldn't get a job acting in normal acting because she got stereotyped. I mean, look at her size. You know?
Yeah, she's definitely not the first.
No, she wasn't, and
Drugs was just
wasn't
rampant with back in the day.
either.
I mean, but you think about choices you make. Has consequences. Look
I
at Jake
get it.
Roberts.
I get it. I get it. But I'm just saying, I felt that they could have done more to help her than they did.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
look at Jake Roberts
Done more to
and
help
Yeah.
a lot
Scott
of
Any
Hall.
of those wrestlers that get addicted to those pain pills, those things are more addicting than what I do. And they keep saying what I do is a gateway for other things. Hmm.
yeah.
I wonder what, because I've been doing the same thing for, since the 80s, and I haven't done anything stronger or worse except that was prescribed for me, and I quit it because I was in bed 99% of the time taking weak ass pills. But the pills that the doctor prescribed me for the pain and stuff, all these pills, each one of them had the same side effect, may cause drowsiness. So I take a couple of those pills at the same time because one's a pain reliever, the other one's a muscle relaxer. I'm in bed 90% of the day when I had to take those pain pills. You know,
And that's not
and
easy.
that stuff gets addictive. Do you know how hard it was to actually quit taking that stuff? I got addicted to those weak ass pills.
Oh,
If those were anything stronger, I might have stayed hooked to them.
I can believe it. And Joanne, so far everything has gone well. What I just had last week was very, very minor. The big one is coming up. Well, no, I don't want to say big one, but I do have a big thing coming up on Monday where the balloon that is in my head is going to be inflated. That is not going to be pleasant at all. 'Cause it's going to expand the skin on my forehead, and I got like 10 bottles of liquid pain medicine in my cabinet now from shopping today because I have a feeling I'm going to be needing them. Um, let's move on. We're already over 2 hours and we still got two more matches to cover. Um, so the next match is Stephanie Vaquer defending the women's championship against Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is the 2026 Royal Rumble winner and chose Stephanie. Donald, who do we pick? I'm pretty sure it was
Let me look down. We both picked Liv on this one.
we did. Shit.
Yeah,
All day today, I was thinking, it's Stephanie, it's Stephanie, it's Stephanie.
we picked Liv with outside interference,
And there was plenty of
and
that.
that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody came out to Stephanie's rescue.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked at that too.
Now,
That would have been a good opportunity for Soul to make her debut.
I don't think there'd have been a connection there.
No, but this would be a good way of introducing her and getting her immediately into the title scene.
Oh yeah, that would have worked. Because I like Stephanie.
Yeah.
I
Now,
like
Yeah,
her whole.
I don't think this one's over.
I like her whole get up and the way she presents herself coming to the ring and stuff. I like it.
I
I'll tell
liked her whole entrance. Her entrance was like, and I
Yeah,
think Jeremy said it was like simple, but it was a good entrance.
How,
yeah,
how do
yeah.
you like that big cape that train she had, her cape train?
Yeah, and all those petals falling down.
No, not the pedals. I'm talking about the cape that she was wearing that had the big long train.
No, like a dang big ass wedding dress.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I like that. Um, Liv Morgan, she changed her theme song. Uh, one,
The
I
entrance,
the, the entrance music. One, I don't think it's a good song. There is nothing about it that sets it apart from anything else that's out there today. That the production, the auto tune, the way that is done, nothing stands out about that. Uh,
Her whole entrance, and I kind of figured they were going to do her new video out, her new song for the entrance video, but I didn't expect all the reenactment of the damn video during her entrance. I thought that was kind of tacky looking for this day and time.
Hmm.
It
it
looked like,
was.
frickin' old Britney Spears video.
That's exactly how that looked. Yes.
A 5'2" or 5'3" Brittany. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you could see where she was trying to put extra makeup under these eyes, where they were black.
Yeah, but she forgot the
And on
one
her
on her
forehead.
forehead.
Yeah, she forgot this up here.
Yeah.
But that whole accident, how it happened, really fueled this match, the fire into this match. Because the other night on Raw, good God, she went nuts, man.
She did.
She went freaking
She
off
lost
the
it.
chain, and it was good. It was good heat for this whole match.
Yeah, it was.
It
I
was,
would
but that was like that is not Liv. That is someone else.
I
But
would have started this match having her introduce, have them introduce Liv, and as soon as they started introducing Stephanie, I would have had Liv jump her from behind and just start wailing on her.
yeah,
Yeah, but at the same time, they would not have rang the bell. They would have waited and waited and waited
yeah.
until both of them would stand up. And now let's ring. I hate it when they do that.
And
I
see,
think they would have probably went ahead and rang the bell afterward. People would have cleared out and they would have called for the bell and they would have went at
you
it.
know,
That'd have
I
been a better beginning for
the
me.
other thing I think I didn't like, I really don't like when the interference happens. You know, especially one that could have been a really good match. You
Oh,
know,
This was a good
yeah,
match.
but it could have been one of those ones where it would have went down in history as one hell of a match without the interference.
like that
Well,
one last year with EO and
Because they were kind of evenly matched, you
uh,
know.
well,
well, I don't
they
know if I want
they
to.
didn't want to tarnish Stephanie's build up to where they've gotten her to this point with just a regular old, she just Liv got the better of her today.
Yeah,
They didn't want to discredit what she's done so
Well,
far.
I'm
So
just saying there was many other ways, but I just don't like the interference angle on a lot of matches when they do that.
it made sense.
Call me old fashioned, I guess, in that aspect. Especially when the title's on the line or
it's
something.
usually the way heels lose or
I
heels
know.
win.
It made sense to do it this time because Stephanie does have a history with Raquel. They've had numerous matches since the Rumble.
Yeah, and Roxanne Perez is back.
Yeah, so it makes sense. So I can see Stephanie challenging Liv at Backlash for the title and kind of seeing what happened, but eventually she's going to have to get somebody in her corner.
To help with the numbers
Yeah,
game.
that's
Yeah.
why I think Soul will be the one to do that. Like I said, I think this is a perfect way of introducing her to the title scene, and maybe that's one of the reasons why Stephanie lost it, so that
Well,
Stephanie will challenge against Liv and lose again, and now Soul is going to step in and challenge Liv at the next pay per view.
I think it's
Yeah.
time to also dismantle the Judgment Day. You know, I mean, they've ousted Finn Balor, they ousted Rhea and
And
Damian Priest and Edge from the very beginning, the one who founded it all.
yeah,
You know, it's
the,
time to
the original four are gone.
right, and it's like Liv Morgan's running this little faction, and there's more women and just Don, a little bitch, following. That they need to rename this faction something else to make it more suitable for the people that are left.
Well, if you kind of
because you got the
one way
women
or another, you get
dominating it right now. You
if you
know,
get. I would like to see Raquel and Perez kind of turn on the other two, and it's just Dom and Liv left. Uh,
well then that's the way to dismantle the Judgment Day altogether
right,
too.
right.
Which is a good thing too because it's not anything close to what it used to be. You know, to me, it's just a joke now.
I thought that they were leaning towards when Finn Balor left Judgment Day, Roxanne would go with him simply because of the way that she was introduced to the group in the first place.
Right. I'm just saying, there's another thing that they're kind of dropping the ball on.
You know, well, I'm curious to see what's going to happen, but I'm also even more curious because I don't think they really ever settled the whole thing between Liv and Raquel.
No.
Liv eliminated her from the Rumble.
Right. And see, I think the Judgment Day is, and I hate to say this, but I think the Judgment Day itself, as a whole, is holding a lot of these, especially like Raquel. I always liked her from the start in a way, except the heel turn. But when she first came, they dropped the ball with her.
And
Judgment Day is kind of holding her back. She could do a lot better and a lot more.
I
Yeah,
think she's come out over the past few matches that she's had, and she's really shined a whole lot
Right, but
uh, on her
she could
character.
shine a lot better and a lot sooner if it wasn't for
If
the
she gets away from
Judgment
them,
Day.
yeah.
Same with Liv Morgan. You know, I mean, she's done a lot. Maybe it was a lesson to learn teamwork with somebody else for Liv or something. I don't know, but they need to get away from this Judgment Day and start going out for themselves
they probably
because there's a lot of wasted talent there.
they probably will soon, but I think that the whole point of this group is to help themselves. Because when you really look at it, look at how much Dom improved from the time that he joined to now.
Well, yeah, I get that. All right. And it improved Finn's career again and so on and so forth. But, it really was holding the Rhea Ripley, and yeah, they didn't get out soon enough. I think they should have gotten out sooner, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest. But, they're shining like you wouldn't believe. Dominic could be a hell of a wrestler if he'd get away from constantly needing the help. You know,
Well,
he's on the Judgment Day too much like a crutch.
I like shit. I'm gonna have to cut loose.
Why? What happened?
I'm getting a call call. Keep talking.
All right. Well, okay. So with Liv winning this match, that now makes her a three-time world champion.
Hmm.
Um, so she really has come out on her own these last few years.
Yeah, but if she gets away from the whole thing,
Yeah.
drops Dominic, she could really shine. There's some talent there.
Oh yeah, they all do. I think it's
You
just
know,
a matter of when they
if I were to
stand on their own.
now, I'm a big wrestling fan to the point where I've got the WWE 2K 26 and 25, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I'd make a dream match. And I know it's been done. They did it before, but I think Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan, if they get their heads straight, they'd make a hell of a tag team.
Alexa and Liv.
Unfortunately, I've got to cut out. I've got an all-call um, fire department. So
Oh, you're a
um,
firefighter?
yeah,
Okay.
20,
Didn't know
20
that.
plus years.
All
20
right,
plus
stay
years.
safe, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Stay safe.
Out there. I'll
I'll
get.
catch y'all tomorrow.
Yep.
And,
I'll
well,
be
I'll be at work tomorrow, so won't be
Uh,
able to do a show tomorrow. But I'll get
I'll
to
be
watch the
watching
show.
tomorrow.
yeah, we'll talk about when we can do this other night for the review. All right,
Okay.
we'll close up with the main event and then we'll wrap it.
Okay.
All right, so going into the main event is Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. Randy had turned heel a few weeks ago, or supposed to have turned heel, but it seems like Cody is the one who's been getting the booze, which I can understand because to me, Cody has been stale for a long time.
Yeah, he needs to turn heel.
Yeah, I think he would be a lot better as a heel. Now,
Well, he proved that he could step over the line during that match with Randy Orton tonight.
oh, he sure did. Yes, he sure did. Now, when Randy came out, they had such cool graphics for him that wrapped around that entire setup, and it really did look like the Viper popped out off the screen.
That was cool.
Yeah, and
And it
then
looked like he walked out of the Viper's mouth.
yes, yes, and then when Cody came out, they had four different stages of his career. The um, his outfits for the time,
Yep,
and
I
then
saw that. It's like this is your life, just like you said, man.
yes, yes. I am actually surprised he went with that because he hated the Stardust character with a passion.
Yep, yep, he did.
So
Because it was under his contract that for him to come back before he came back. Part of it was that they were never to mention Stardust ever again, never to ask him to portray that character ever again.
yeah,
You
but
know,
over the years it's been brought up so many times.
yeah. Well, it's part of his career. We literally watched Cody grow up in front of the camera.
Yeah, you could say that definitely.
Yeah, well, look at he
You say
started
he
out.
grew up but matured.
You know, a lot of times the wrestlers don't grow up or they go awry or whatever happens, but Cody improved over the years. I mean, I remember when Cody got so pissed off, he threw the belt into a river.
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember what belt it was or whose belt it was, but he was pissed off and he threw the belt in the river.
Wait, would that have been when he had the old Intercontinental title and then he came back with the retro belt?
I don't know. That might have been it, but I'm just saying, and you know, them making him do the Stardust even more when he was trying to get rid of the lisp and get away from people calling him gay, which he never was, but
Oh, I never heard that.
because because of the lisp that he had, it people were calling him gay and stuff like this because of the way he was, and so I he got
I
he
don't
needed
remember that one.
that lisp was really apparent during the Stardust years and before the Stardust years, right? But when the Stardust years came, it got worse because he got more upset about playing Stardust because Gold Dust was already Gold Dust.
Yeah.
And he felt he was trying to get out of that shadow of his brother.
Do you remember what I
And
suggested when Cody first won the title?
no, but here's the other thing. When Cody left, help form the AEW, he also got help for his lisp, psychological help.
which I'm sure could not have been easy.
It was very difficult for him.
Yeah. So what I suggested when he beat Roman Reigns for the title, they were still looking at that as two separate titles merged into one. So my suggestion was on Monday Night Raw, Cody comes out with the plain WWE title, and on SmackDown, Stardust comes out as the Universal Champion.
Uh,
And it is a split personality character that Cody is doing, where he is himself on Monday and he is not himself on Friday, and neither one are aware of the other.
well,
I would have loved to have seen that happen.
but you won't because how
No, never
much he
would, but
despises that character.
I know. But can
And
you
see,
imagine them doing something like that?
yeah, I could. That would have been kind of a cool storyline.
It would
I
have.
could really see that. That would have been cool.
It would have been, but not to be. So going into this match, Pat McAfee said that if Randy did not win the title, then Pat would leave professional wrestling forever.
I
Well,
don't see,
Randy lost. Now
yeah, but I
what's
don't see
going to happen?
McAfee ever have leaving.
Yeah, so they were something doesn't seem right here because they just killed off this story that had the potential of growing and really exploding, maybe even along the lines of what the bloodline had done. And now it's dead.
Yeah, you know, they dropped the ball on so much tonight.
Yeah, this was definitely one of them. I know that I had picked Randy for to win this match.
I was behind Cody all the way.
Were you?
You know, because he's overcame so much and he's always been the underdog. And in this case, I rooted for the underdog. I don't usually bet against Randy, but I had a feeling with Pat McAfee in his corner, he had the wrong choice.
Yeah. The thing about this is that this was screaming somebody else was behind the whole thing, and that Pat was basically this person's avatar. And maybe we'll still get that,
Who
but
knows?
I would have thought that this person would have been revealed at Mania.
Yeah,
So I don't know. The match itself, I thought was good. It was certainly a lot better
yeah.
than
Oh yeah, it was a good match.
Cody last year.
You know, Cody's proven one thing to me. That's one tough son of a bitch, no matter how you look at it.
Oh, he is. Yeah,
Because after that cage match, wasn't it with Seth Rollins where he had that whole black and blue mark all the way up and down from his shoulder down into his rib cage?
he had the torn pec.
Yeah, wasn't that Cody that had that?
Yeah, it was Cody right after he made his return, and he wrestled.
With that injury in the cage against Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
And that was one hell of a match, and he won.
yeah,
That proves to me that Cody is one tough son of a bitch.
yeah, yeah. That nobody can ever throw that into question, and if they try to question that, you just show them that. You'll never question it again.
No, I
Um,
mean his whole theme song. The how's that go? There's more than one royal family in wrestling.
yeah, I was thinking about that phrase, and how does that make sense for his story? Because all he's ever talked about was, his him accomplishing what his dad never did. Okay,
Hmm.
I get that, but that has nothing to do with more than one royal family, which we all know. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, uh,
Well, there is a lot of wrestling royalty.
Donald, is that you?
You know,
It has to be.
all right, if you look at it, all right, yeah, all right, Cody maybe not technically because only I don't think there was anybody before Dusty in that family. Okay,
It was just Dusty, Dustin, and Cody.
right. All right, I get that. That might you might be able to question that as royalty. All right, you got the Samoan dynasty. Well, we there's no doubt about them being royalty because
Yeah.
they are genuine royalty. Okay, but let's look at Randy Orton. You know, he comes from wrestling lineage. You know.
He does, but Randy is the only one who really ever amounted to anything.
Well, I knew that was going to happen because wrestling changed over the years. When Randy showed up, I said it from day one that he was going to surpass his dad.
Yeah.
And he did that like within the first year. Okay? But you know, you can look at some of these wrestlers and when you find out who they are, you know, look at Natalia.
Yep, the Hart family.
She comes from the Hart family dynasty. You know, there is more than one wrestling royalty when it comes to wrestling royalty. Not necessarily, but the Samoans are real royalty, though.
Yeah, they are.
But when it comes to wrestling, there are, yeah, okay, you got Charlotte, and look at her dad.
I can't even see that as an actual royal family because
No, but, you know, it's a start because you never know. Someday Charlotte might have a daughter. You know, it could have been more than Charlotte, but this their brother never made it. You know,
well,
as a wrestler.
there is another daughter. I think she might have kids. I don't know.
But you know,
Then you got the Von Erichs,
and you got the Von Erichs, and then you got Tully Blanchard and his daughters in wrestling.
the Guerreros.
You know, oh yeah,
But the
there's
thing,
a big that's a big Mexican dynasty there.
yeah, the thing for me is
Right, several royal families.
I just have such a hard time buying that Cody truly is the face of the company. I know that they
Oh
are.
yeah, I I have a hard time buying that too, and him calling him the quarterback and stuff.
Yeah, he's the first one I've ever heard say that. That's
You know,
I don't know.
you know, I don't know. Maybe it's a way for them to boost him some more, but I don't know. He's got to learn to turn heel once
But
at
you
some
can't
point.
deny he is two-time Rumble champion. He's king of the ring. He has now main evented five
Crown Jewel?
times at WrestleMania.
Didn't he win the Crown Jewel?
Yes,
At
he
least
won
once.
the first crown jewel. Let's
You
see, he
know,
had the world title, the Intercontinental Tag
but see,
title.
not once was Cody a heel.
Oh yeah, he was
What,
when
early in his career?
when he was with Randy as Legacy. They were heels.
Oh, yeah, but I think Randy did most of that work.
He did, but Cody was his lackey.
Right.
Cody and Ted DiBiase Jr. were the lackeys.
But tonight, Cody did prove that he could cross that line.
Finally,
So maybe they're working up to a heel turn.
I hope so. He would be a lot more exciting that way.
Yeah, it might be. You know,
Uh,
don't get me wrong. I like Cody. I always loved Dusty. I thought he was a hell of an entertainer.
oh, the best, really. Uh,
Yep. A plumber's son.
Cody, well, no, Randy was busted open, and then Cody got busted
Yeah,
open.
I saw that. It turned into a blood match.
Yes, and
A
then
bloodbath.
Cody's eye was swollen shut, so he could only see out of one eye. I thought, wow, this is really getting in.
Personal, yeah.
Uh, and then Cody kicks Randy in the balls
Yeah, but
after
Cody,
John Cena
Randy
had
did
done
it
that.
first.
Huh?
Randy did it first.
Yeah, Randy did it first, but John Cena had also done that to him. Pat McAfee done that to him. So it's just a matter of time before Cody did it to somebody. And yeah, it's very possible he might turn on Punk. That's why I'm leaning towards Roman now. To
Well,
you
I
know,
don't bet against the Samoans. And with the way that Roman's looking right now and the way he's feeling, it's time for him to get the belt back. You know, he don't look. You got to realize, I kind of was in Roman's shoes when it came to the cancer.
I know you were,
Same type of cancer, but his is chronic. Mine wasn't. Mine was acute. Okay,
but still both just as deadly.
right. And mine was never caught in time, but I got lucky. All right. The thing was, I'm watching when Roman comes on because I'm a big fan. Because of that, we share the leukemia survivor thing together. I'm a big, big fan of Roman's.
Yeah,
I don't care if he turns heel or whatever. I'm a big fan. You know, but you can watch him sometimes, and me personally, I'll see it. You can see some of the signs where the leukemia is catching up with him, and it's time for him to take a break. And right now, I don't see that.
I
He,
remember us talking
his
about that.
color looks fine, you know, and he looks like he's got a lot of stamina and energy right now.
Yeah, I remember
I
us
would
talking about
not
that a
bet
couple of
against
years.
Roman at this point.
I remember us talking about that a couple of years ago because we both had noticed how much harder he was breathing.
And he looked, his skin color didn't look quite right.
Yeah, but yeah, he's looking real good right now.
You know, there's times where it looks like he's almost got that, I forget what they call it, but it's when your kidneys start shutting down and everything. Jaundice. He looked jaundice, like the early stages of it. At
Oh,
that point when we were talking, you know, when he was couldn't breathe heavy, you
I
know,
thought that
he
was
doesn't look like that right now.
I thought that was called renal failure.
What you know, it's jaundice. But anyway, that must have been caught earlier or something, or you know, it was like early stages of it. You know, that's what it looked like. And the thing was, right now, Roman looks in the peak of health. He looks like he's doing really, really good right now.
Yes,
So now's the time for him to get that title back and do another run
and no offense,
before it's too late.
yeah, no offense to Seth or CM Punk or Gunther or Jay, but Roman winning that title will add a huge air of legitimacy to it.
You know,
Um, but back to Randy and Cody, I do not think that Cody winning is the right call. because something doesn't seem right. Because Randy gave Pat the RKO.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I don't.
And Tanya went like, "What the fuck?" And it's like that's typical Randy for you, though.
Well, it is, but and maybe down the line I could have expected that, but not here. So I don't know.
You know, Pat can get quite annoying. You know, I mean, think about it. Those guys at the commentator desk would probably tell you that. You know, because how many times that he was sitting there with them over the past years. You
Yeah,
know.
but the whole thing is said that if Randy lost, Pat had to leave the professional wrestling industry forever. And it just doesn't make any sense that he would have come back 2 weeks ago and now he's gone like nothing ever happened.
Well,
That
maybe
seems
this
like
is
a waste of a heel turn for Randy, just like they did the waste of a heel turn for John Cena.
well. Now maybe you know. Okay, let's look at it from this perspective. Okay, maybe Randy Orton, RKO, Pat McAfee was a way to give Pat McAfee the way to get out with his dignity in check. You know, like, okay, he's out on an injury for some time or whatever, and when he comes back as a good guy, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they kind of redeem because Pat's got that show. He doesn't want that the whole universe to constantly boo him out of the stadium and out of places like they booed some people. You
Right.
know, the WWE universe can be pretty mean sometimes when it comes to like booing people out of the stadium and not letting them talk.
Yeah. I don't know. Some just doesn't seem to be adding up right here. Um, but I do believe that there is somebody higher up than McAfee pulling the strings, and I really want that to be Rock. But if it's going to be Rock, then he needs to make the return at WrestleMania, not Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. So I don't know. Um, but it sure seemed like they were going to do the double turn with these two because the fans were very clear in cheering Randy and booing Cody.
Yeah.
That much was
Well,
clear.
I don't know. Who knows who could be turning his fucking, I mean, I'd have kind of a lot of suggestions on that about who else could be in Randy Orton's ear that we just don't know about yet.
Yeah.
But the people I come up with, yeah, it'd be a cool shocker, but yet the storyline wouldn't last long. Like his dad.
Well, right now it is going to end up continuing because of Randy.
Or or let's say Bobby the Brain Heenan had a kid, you know, and that Heenan shows up as a new manager, or something like that. You follow me?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Right now I'm having a hard time staying awake. I'm been
Okay,
yawning.
next match.
Actually, that was the last match. Um, I still think that Cody winning is the wrong call, but I did like that Cody did cross some lines. He ended up kicking Randy in the balls. Um, that
Well,
was
I think it's about time because look how many times that Cody's tried to play the nice guy so much and he gets screwed over.
many times.
And not just by Randy Orton, they name the names, and it's like, John Cena, for example, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, he did it to him too. Someone else did too, I think. I don't know.
And I think if Cody turns heel, I think he should. That's where The Rock should come out and come to Cody's. Because remember back when he wanted Cody to turn heel
Yep,
and he wouldn't?
he wanted his soul.
Right,
Maybe he will now.
right. That's what I'm saying. That would be a good storyline to also bring The Rock back into the picture.
Yeah,
You know,
I was so hoping Rock would return tonight. I really did.
well, I still got tomorrow night.
Yeah, we still got tomorrow night, and that's assuming that Cody will get involved somewhere.
You know,
But we'll find out because this is the first time that the number one belt was not on 19 that
so
I can recall.
yeah,
So already the number one belt seemingly has been relegated down to number two simply because of it being on Friday night.
right.
But, it's whatever. Uh, all right, so,
Need to
so
redesign those belts to begin with. They're getting a little old.
I didn't like them when they first came out the way they were.
The different colors, red and blue, and then the big W in the center. Come on, get
Yeah,
some new belts. Some of those old classics, when you download those games, I downloaded those games and I look at the titles and I'm like, wow,
yeah, we
that's
need,
a pretty belt.
yeah, we need the winged eagle back.
Yeah, or something. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, tomorrow we got 6 matches scheduled. We got Femi versus Brock Lesnar, Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, Sami Zayn and Trick Williams, Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Where the Demon is going to
make his
return.
appearance.
Yep, return after 3 years. You have Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD Madonna, Rey Mysterio and Rusev in a 6-man ladder match, and then in the main event you got CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Well, I'm going to take the time and call those matches because I don't think I did that with you guys, for tonight.
Huh?
So I forgot what the matches were, but
Donald's back.
so go down that card slowly and give me the cards and I'll pick the winners.
All right, you got Femi and Brock Lesnar.
Which that's going to be, and I hate to use the terms from the legend Sheamus, but that's going to be a slobber knocker.
Yes, it is.
You
That
know,
was my
I
pick.
pick Obafemi.
That's what
I
we.
Right.
I think Brock Lesnar has bit off more than he can chew.
Yes. Then you have Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD Madonna, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio in the ladder match for the Intercontinental title.
Now, what we did on this one, we picked a first choice and a second choice.
Okay, well, I picked Rey Mysterio for my first choice,
That's the same as me.
and then I like Penta for my second choice.
I went Javon and Penta.
Oh, I forgot about Bouncy. Change Penta to Bouncy.
All
I
right, well,
forgot he was in that. I like him.
I said
that's
his name.
Yeah, but it didn't click right away. I'm an
so.
old guy here.
So on
Give me a
this one,
break.
I picked Ray as my number one. Joe picked as number one. Uh, Jeremy picked Penta as number one, and we all three picked Evans as number two.
Okay.
Then you have Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley.
Oh, I love Rhea Ripley. I ain't gonna bet against her, and she's pissed anyways.
Yes, she is.
You're picking Rhea.
Yes, I like Rhea. I've always liked Rhea.
I picked Rhea. Jeremy's picking Jade, unless he wants to change.
Why did I pick Cade?
Probably outside interference.
Uh,
Yeah, because she's got uh, BFAB and
Meechin.
Mi Ching, yeah, which is sad because Mi Ching's better than that. She was one of the ones with AJ.
Sami Zayn and Trick Williams.
Sami Zayn all the way.
Ooh, he's going against the grain right here.
He's tough.
Yeah, he is.
I've seen him overcome a lot in a match. You think he's down and you're ready to count him out, and all of a sudden he surprises you. You know, I like Sammy.
There's going to be a double turn here. Sam is going full blown heel and Trick is going face.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio.
I hope Finn Balor kicks Dominic's ass. I just don't like Dominic.
I like Dominic, but I think Finn's gonna.
He's got a little bit more growing to do.
I think Finn's gonna wind up winning this one.
Dominic's got to stop worrying about getting help to always win and hold on to titles.
But right now, he's only got the AAA Mega.
I know. He's only got the AAA, and that's all he deserves at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that with touching base on this match here, I think they really screwed up again with the whole let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, with the demon. They should have totally kept it.
Oh yeah, they dropped the ball.
Did the little hints, and kept it at that.
It's been a while since we've seen the demon.
3 years.
Yeah.
But
They
I
dropped
also
the ball
think
on
they
that.
have made this a AAA championship match. And then CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
I don't bet against Samoans.
No. All right. Jeremy picked Roman. You picked Roman. I picked CM Punk.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of wondering if possibly Cody does a heel turn tomorrow night. You can tell by the crowd.
Title?
Do what?
And cost CM Punk the title?
Yeah, for whatever reason, and then maybe it's too soon for him to totally turn heel, but I think he's leading to that heel turn.
It'll be interesting to see. You know,
his entrance tonight was awesome. I love the whole flashback of his.
I bet he didn't like it so much because they showed Stardust.
He's got to embrace it. It's just part of.
Well, at some point,
part of his journey.
But I'm just saying, it's a sore spot with him.
Yeah, but it's part of his journey. He wouldn't be where he's at today without
it, right?
Very true.
If they would have went ahead and agreed to him as changing his persona back in the day, he would have never left.
Right.
And reinvented himself.
Yep.
So
what happened with the fire department?
It was a false alarm.
Oh, wow.
But he went to AEW, and both him and his brother basically reinvented themselves.
Yeah.
I would love to see Goldust.
Oh yeah, but not as Goldust.
No, I would love to see him
with his current persona that he's doing. It's got something to do. It's like Cody's the American Nightmare, and Dustin is something like. It's got something to do with Nightmare because they were like the Nightmare family.
Somebody said that Dustin actually used the American Nightmare name first.
I heard that too.
I don't know.
And as a matter of fact, I heard that from him.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
And
all
then
I'm saying is
they started calling Cody that over in Japan.
And it's stuck.
Right, and he got, Dustin's, blessing on it.
Yeah.
Well, even though they're like half brothers or something, not full, they're pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he won't come over. He said something, I remember him saying something in an interview where he won't come over to WWE because Cody asked him to come back, and he basically said it's not time yet because he don't want to interfere in Cody's path by overshadowing him with a comeback, like kind of like stealing Cody's spotlight.
But I would imagine that Cody would want him to be there, especially since he says that they need to get him inducted into the Hall of Fame before Cody himself.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Dustin needs to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
He
I
deserves it.
think
Yeah.
I think if with all the booze and everything he was getting tonight, um, I
That
think
heel
that
turn
it's
is coming.
time for that heel turn.
Yeah, that heel turn is coming.
And maybe that's the time, you know, like I said, there's going to be a time where Dustin has to come back, you know, but he just doesn't want to yet because he
Oh,
said,
you can you imagine this if Cody goes heel and
and then
say
Dustin
a
comes
year
back.
later he comes back and then he starts really hitting it on Cody for giving the family a bad name and just them two having a feud together. Man,
Right.
Oh,
that would be good.
that would be good.
And see, he doesn't even have to bring back his Gold Dust character. He can do it with
Mm-mm.
that red, because he does that red. I think that's better than the Gold Dust character. I like that character. And the
I
thing is,
think
he hasn't been seen in AEW in a while.
Well, he just had
he's
both.
doing some kind of dog shows or something.
Yeah, he
He
just had
just had two knee surgeries.
yes.
Yeah, so
So
he's
he's
kind of
recovering from that.
Well, I'm
right.
just saying, after that, that could be, all right, he recovers, does his rehab, and so on and so forth, and then that could be the time that he could make a comeback.
Right now, tonight there were 7 matches. Tomorrow there's 6 matches scheduled. I think we're going to get an
Impromptu
impromptu.
match, yeah, I
And
was thinking that too.
it'll be Danhausen versus The Miz.
Yep.
You don't think it's Oscar versus Io?
No,
I think it's Dan How because I think the Miz gets so pissed off and so frustrated that he's going to demand a match with the manager. Which one is he of SmackDown or whatever Nick Aldis or
yeah,
whatever?
we called it.
And he's going to say, "Okay, you got your match."
Yeah, that'll give Danhausen his WrestleMania match. How that would be so awesome for him to be out there in that size crowd.
And that's soon.
Yes.
I like him. I don't care what Chris said. I saw
Ugh.
Chris's comment earlier. I'm sorry, Chris. You're a nice guy and all, but I like Danhausen. I'm sorry, but
We
wrestling needed that comedy effect back. They lost it when they had, after Doink left and so on and so forth. You need that comic relief, and they got our truth not really being our truth so much anymore because he's tagged with Damien. You
Oh,
know,
he is now because he kept well. Now he got Damien believing that he thinks Danhausen is actually Oscar.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying he's. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like
I know what you're saying, but I want
his
Danhausen.
comedy was getting a little stale because him having that memory loss and playing it like Alzheimer's. It's like, oh, these two guys are, you know, or this guy's Triple H, and he was actually, what was that name? The guy that left. That
Tampa,
was
Tommaso
uh,
Tampa.
Tampa. Yeah, I mean, that got old after a while.
Yeah,
Well,
It was funny, but it still got old after a while.
a couple shows ago, we were talking about his debut, and we all agreed it was like that was just a total big letdown of that whole box crate thing, him popping out.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just the way they did it was just because nobody knew who in the hell he was for the
No,
most part.
Well, they
It was
were
like,
in Jericho.
yeah, and I was like, what,
right.
who
I
is this
didn't have
guy?
a clue, and I've been watching all three wrestlings.
He's grown on me, over the past month or so. Um,
I think he's funny as fuck. I really do. I love that. You're cursed. You know, the way he goes around and says that. And it's, I like that curse thing
Uh-huh.
better than what's his name, that one from Pretty Deadly, the only one that's left. He goes down and
Oh,
says, "You're toxic.
yeah.
You're toxic."
But he's
yeah,
actually doing pretty good on his own, too.
I noticed that, but I'm just saying that that little toxic bit is kind of stupid. You
Yeah,
know,
when you really think about it, what superstar out there is not toxic?
right? You're in the wrestling business. You know, you're gonna get backstabbed all the time.
Right. You are toxic.
You know, I
I,
mean,
I really do like him.
you know, I don't like that. You know, he needs to get a better gimmick and forget about Pretty Deadly. He's talent. He's a talented wrestler, but he needs to get a new gimmick.
He just started.
Not Danhausen, the one that's left from Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just started.
Yeah, well, he needs a new gimmick. He needs to get rid of that toxic thing and just start thinking outside the box. He's a talented wrestler.
Yeah, I don't see him getting rid of it.
He's still got the gimmick of the Pretty Deadly. He's, like he's one half of a tag team still.
Yeah.
You know, he needs to get away from that.
Well, I'm
it,
glad
it
that
reminds me a little bit of Rick Martel,
Yeah,
the model.
exactly.
The model.
He couldn't get out of Shawn Michaels' shadow. You know, he couldn't find himself after the Rockers split up. You
yeah,
know,
that was as, before then. Everybody always thought that Marty was the gifted one between the two, and that he would be the big star.
and it ended up being Shawn.
Yes,
And look at Shawn today.
I know.
Hmm.
You know, he's running NXT. You know,
All right, guys, we're coming up on 3 hours. Uh, we need to call it. Um, Donald, you're working tomorrow.
Yep.
Are are you available next weekend to do the review?
Next weekend is the 25th and 26th. I'm off the 26th. It'll have to be during the night.
During the night?
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be next Sunday, or no, next Saturday. Excuse me.
how about Friday night?
I've got nothing as of right now on Friday night.
Okay, how about if we do this episode in the place of where I would normally do a 13th Dimension show?
well, you could also start it earlier because I'm not doing Insane Asylum at the moment.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good. We can try to end it before SmackDown starts.
You know, that gives us
Hmm.
a couple hours then.
Okay, so Friday night, the SmackDown starts at eight,
Seven, seven here.
7 for you guys. How about we try to start in, let's say, 4:30? Your guys this time. That'll give us 2.5 hours.
Starts at 6 my time,
Not SmackDown.
or is it 7?
SmackDown starts.
Well, it depends. If you're
I'm
on
Central.
Central Time, like me, it starts at 7.
Okay.
You
Okay.
two are in the same time zone.
We start about 4:30.
Yeah.
Should be 4:30
Start
should
off
be good.
that way we should be able to cover everything and be done before SmackDown starts.
Okay.
That sound like a plan?
Yeah,
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a winner.
All
yeah,
right.
because I ain't doing Insane Asylum until I get my web problem fixed.
Okay.
All right.
You
Sounds
know,
good.
and I got a Facebook issue on my other Facebook account. I don't have a friends list. I can't see my friends list,
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's fun.
and I've reported it several times, and nothing yet.
Take,
Well, you
I've
probably
tried
won't
on
get
several
anything.
browsers and everything, and tried this and tried that, and I know it's not my computer or my end. It's Facebook's end.
Good
Facebook
luck on getting anything
virtual.
done with him.
Uh, all right, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. I'm having a hard time staying awake. My eyes are trying to go to sleep.
But see, my websites are down, and I got to get the one back up because it's on the side of the truck.
Okay.
And I've got a big thing May 9th.
All right.
So,
Okay.
so I
Well,
got to get the Insane Asylum podcast.com back up.
all right. So we're going to plan on doing part 2 Friday night,
Friday
Okay?
night.
4:30 ish.
4:30 ish. Yeah. So 5:30 my time.
Okay.
We'll be doing night 2 of WrestleMania, which we're all going to be watching tomorrow anyway. So
Correct.
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen after what we've seen today.
Well, yeah, and you'll have Monday night afterwards, the Monday Night Raw, because we'll all be able to watch that, or at least I will. I know I'll be watching it.
I'll be
I'll be watching.
yeah.
So, and
If
usually
it's a little
that's
later,
the
I'm not
biggest
watching it.
that's the biggest event after WrestleMania usually. That
Yep.
Monday Night Raw is where everything goes down.
Yep.
They usually have one person return on Monday Night Raw.
You know.
So we'll see what happens. All right, everybody out there in the audience, thank you for playing along with us. We've had a number of people joining us.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess until next Friday, we'll see you guys then. Hopefully, all pages will work this time. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that the Marks on Wrestling page itself didn't work.
Didn't pull up. Now I pulled this up on Marks on Wrestling.
You couldn't have, unless you pulled it up on the. Oh, you were signed in. Never mind. Oh, I'll figure it out. But for whatever reason, we didn't actually go live on the page.
Yeah, I pulled the post up. Pulled the post up on Marks on Wrestling.
Hmm.
I didn't see it really. That's the post.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Because Marks on Wrestling was live.
That never mind. That kind of ticks me off. How some things work and you don't think it worked, and man, I was
No, that's a preview. Excuse me. That's the preview.
because
Yeah, I was going to say that if we didn't go live on that page at all,
Yeah, I don't know. I pulled it up somewhere.
it would have been either Things Network or the Universal Wrestling Network.
It might have been Universal.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and sign off. We're going to go to bed, get a good night's sleep so we can watch.
Start it over again tomorrow.
Yep, start all over again. We got, well, I don't know if you guys are going to be watching the pre-show, but the pre-show starts at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be 2 o'clock for these guys.
I will probably be watching a replay of tonight tomorrow.
Okay,
We got
well,
a couple of guys at the station that are now getting into wrestling.
I do know I'm going to try to watch the post show, but first thing in the morning when I get up, I got to do a big time shopping for my dad before I have my procedure done on Monday. So tomorrow's the only chance I got. So I need to do some shopping for him in the morning, get that done and over with, and then come home, get my work done before the wrestling starts. So, all right, everybody out there, for those who are still watching us, we still got a couple of viewers, wherever you are. We're going to go ahead and sign off. We'll be watching WrestleMania Part 2 tomorrow and doing a review on it Friday.
Friday.
Yep. All right, well,
Yeah, have a good night.
have a good, safe weekend. Have a fun weekend and enjoy the show tomorrow.
See ya.
Happy night, everybody.